I'm doing well. Chat says that they cannot hear you. I just wanted to. I'm sorry.
I just knew that would happen. That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Right, rewind. Right, go away. I'm going back to my one-person thing. Welcome back.
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Plan.
Send me away.
Shush.
Send me away.
Shush. Welcome back to the 5-year plan. This one is very, very special, and I've screwed it up already. My mic was off. Don't worry, it's on now. Hopefully you can hear me. This is the beautiful world of live streaming on YouTube. This is the 5-year plan. I am Queen's Park Rangers manager, which is bizarre in itself. What's more bizarre is that I'm playing Football Manager with the creator of Football Manager. Miles Jacobson will be on this stream in just an hour's time. Before that, though, this whole stream is going to be an education. Get in the chat, get involved. I want questions because I want to learn as much as you do, because something is happening here. Queen's Park Rangers will be getting to the playoffs, I hope. They will be winning those playoffs. They will be getting in the Premier League, I believe. But I've got myself a little Watford kit this stream because Miles Jacobson, as I said, the main man of Football Manager, will be on the stream. But before that, we'll have an hour. Let's reveal him again. Zealand is here. Oh, I've had a disaster.
Hi. Oh, I set you straight, though. I had your back
You
on
sorted
that
me
one.
out, man.
I was ready.
So, guys, let's know
I tried.
about Zealand's audio. Obviously, you've told me about my mess. You're saying I'm not loud enough. Okay, I can move that. But Zealand, tell us what you can bring as assistant manager as I tweak my audio.
I'll just repeat what I said in my interview to be the assistant manager in the first place. You know, I can offer absolutely zero quality other than rampant enthusiasm and an obsession with this game.
Love that. I love that.
And that's what I got.
So Zealand is a Football Manager YouTuber. He's brilliant. I've been watching a lot of his videos in terms of understanding the game because obviously, as you guys know, anyone who's been watching from the start, it's been a situation where I'm like, where is that thing? And you guys in the stands, I like to call it, you've been amazing in terms of helping me get there. But as my education continues, you know, we've brought in Dr. Benji at different times. We've brought in my mates as well, just to make me feel a little bit better. And we're bringing in the main man, literally the god of Football Manager, Miles Jacobson. I honestly can't believe he's going to be here. I'm almost like a touch nervous just to chat to. It's going to be bizarre. But yeah, I think bringing you in, mate, is going to really help me understand the buttons. I think that's the technical way.
I'm just going to try and get you ready so that you don't embarrass yourself in front of Miles, right? That's the goal
That is the goal, yes. Oh, so you have been watching.
Okay.
So you have been watching the stream. So let's show you the situation. Are you guys...
Okay, catch me up.
Zealand's a bit loud, apparently, so I'm going to just dial that down a touch. That's fine. We can do that. So we've gone to halfway with his volume, so hopefully that works this time.
Okay.
Let's show you can see my screen. Let's get the people seeing the screen as well, because something is happening here, guys. It's very, very exciting. We've had sort of highs and lows throughout the season, but it's really coming together now. The last few games we've been unbeaten. I think it was 7. It might have even been 8 games. 8 games unbeaten before that it not really going well at all, let's be honest. But the situation's good. So obviously I'm the hand here, but you are the knowledge, Zealand. So whatever you see, and if there's anything that you want to see, let me know.
I'm locked in. Okay.
So I've dialed you down, Zealand. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Zealand can't dunk, says the chat. There's going to be some inside jokes, I would imagine. Coming from
that's not an inside joke. I can't. I used to be able to, and I can't, and it's a sticking point for me.
Yes,
I'm really shaken up about it.
Oh, really? Yeah. I've never. Yeah. Don't worry, you're in good company there, because I don't think I've ever even attempted it. It would have been a waste of my time. But anyway, let's use you properly. We've got an hour of your time. Guys, just to say, make sure after this stream, check out Zealand's channel, FM Base, right?
Yeah, FM Base on YouTube and Zealand on Twitch. Easy enough.
Lovely. I think maybe in your sound mixer, mate, you might be able to turn your audio down a touch as well, just so that it's not clear.
Okay,
That might be happening. That's happened before. So right, here's the situation. We've got Nottingham Forest next. We've had a couple of sort of funny games where it's been against teams in the exact same position as us, and Forest aren't a million miles away from us either. 44 points they're on. We're on 49, so we are moving in the right direction. A lot of people were a bit disappointed after we played Danny Graham, first of all, and then after that, Danny Graham was just a bit of a mess for us. We brought in Danny Graham because of Dr. Benji, who I'm sure will be here at some point in the chat. He generally turns up for a second, and I feel like I've been trolled there. So if anyone's a Dr. Benji subscriber who's come over and is now enjoying the stream, can you just explain to me what I'm supposed to do with this guy? Because some people are getting annoyed about that because we'd started to find the right formula. Let me show you the tactics of the team at the moment. Have you ever managed QPR? You should.
No, I have not. No, I've actually only managed in England once ever, and I'm almost kind of proud of it at this point.
All right. Why is that?
No, I feel like everybody else manages in England, and I
Okay.
didn't. Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't know I was supposed to.
It's a global game. I understand. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Charlie Taylor's in the super chat. Guys, maybe save your super chats as much for this hour, but for Miles, because I want to ask some of your questions. Obviously, I'm a sort of casual football fan, and I'm excited to talk to him about football in general. But in terms of the game, there might be some questions that you guys want to ask him. So make sure you sort of get yourself ready for that. But the super chat, I will always read out. Charlie Taylor, big couple of games regardless of MJ. MJ? Up the R's. What does MJ mean? I don't know. Charlie, I'm sure you'll tell me soon enough. Don't you know, pump it up. The R's are going up, says Jamie Hills. This is the situation with our team. We brought in James Justin, Zealand, recently. He's the signing that could bring us the silverware because he's got the flexibility to play on the left side or the right hand side. We had lacked a bit of depth on the left hand side, but Lee Wallace is looking like a good, solid player for us in the system that we've got here, which is a sort of custom gegenpress. We're using the pace of our team. Asai Samuel can't seem to finish for us, but we've been trying to sort out his training. He's so quick, and I think you'll see that. And I think maybe we should play a game as quickly as we can, just so that you can see the situation that we've got here. Does that sound good?
All right.
Great.
Yeah.
Once we've done that, what I'd love to do is go. I'd love to know if there are like 3 or 4 tips that, as an FM professional, you would give to a casual. I'm intrigued to know because the one thing I have taken from you from one of your videos, which I really, really enjoyed, was how roles are used. And I was talking about it in a stream yesterday. The idea that the formation that you've got here is where they will be defensively, but it's the roles that you give them that will sort of show you where they're going to be in an attacking sense. So little bits like that I've been able to kind of use for my own understanding of the game. So if there's any of those kind of things that you have, that would be really cool to hear after this first game.
All right, yeah, I got you.
Just keep an eye out for John Eustace. He's our assistant manager. Bit of a snake. He's a bit of a snake. He's difficult to work with, but we try and get past it. He'll try and steal some of your thunder as assistant manager, but don't worry, I see straight through him. 9 unbeaten for QPR following the draw, which is good. A few too many draws in there. But we've had some tough games along the way. I don't know do you know the championship well, Zealand?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it's on TV in the United States.
Okay.
Most of the time. When sports is on TV, it's on TV. You know?
Right. So a couple of tough games in there. Leeds and Brentford were tough. Blackburn are up there. Blackburn, a team we need to get above in the league. But then there's a couple of teams that we probably should have been beating, but we kept playing Danny Graham. So we're wasting our time. Which was, just a disaster. Oh, MJ, Miles Jacobson, of course. Shame on me. That was the MJ we were looking for. I was thinking, we were talking about the holy trinity of, the greatest. Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Miles Jacobson.
Jacobson.
And Michael Jordan, if you are watching the stream today, welcome. It's good to have you back. Jump in the chat, get involved. But also, if you would like to be an assistant manager, I reckon I'd let that happen. If he is watching, just to be clear. Okay. Right, let's get ourselves moving forward.
Oh, no, stop it. Stop it.
What?
Match review. Match review. I don't know, it might be too late. Go to training.
Go to training. Why? You got to speak. Tell me, what have I done wrong?
No, I know. I'm getting there. Go to training. It's too late. But go to calendar.
Okay.
This is just gonna change your life.
Really?
Go above the recovery, like below the recovery on Nottingham Forest. Like right after Nottingham Forest, there's a rest right after recovery.
Yes, recovery, right.
The bottom right.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to that. Click it.
Are you about to change my life?
Yep. Go to match preparation.
Match preparation. There we go. Yep.
there's a thing called a match review, which the game will not put in for you. It's where you sit the team down and do a tactical analysis of the match that just happened. It's like completely free. It doesn't cost you any fitness at all. And you should do it right after the recovery on every match. It's basically the same thing as a match preview, but for some reason the game just doesn't put it in there for you.
So I've clicked on that. Is that the right thing to
do? You want to have a recovery and then a match preview so that nobody gets hurt. So go to physical and then put the recovery back as your first thing to do.
Right. Okay.
And then and then put a match review after that.
Okay, so recovery, we'll keep that. Confirm.
And then go to no, don't have to confirm yet. Click cancel.
Okay, sorry, cancel. Yep. Oh, and then
click. And then go to the yeah. Match prep, match review.
Okay, boom. And that'll just gain a better understanding for the next game.
See, it says a session dedicated to analytically reviewing the previous match. So It just it aids in your tactical familiarity and team cohesion, which the cohesion is probably more important.
Okay. Yeah, you just did a video on cohesion. I haven't seen that one yet. But I now I don't need to, do I? Because you just give me the answers. John Eustace, what do you want? He's currently responsible for general training. No. If I say only this once, will that work?
Yeah, it'll work. And you can click only this once every time and just do that once a week.
Okay. So I need to do that every week?
Well, the game doesn't do it for you. Well, you just go into the training for that week. It takes 3 seconds. You don't have to. You don't have to. It's fine.
Maybe when we get to the playoffs.
Fine.
Great tip that says Brian Cook. Yeah, there's a lot of clicking going on though. I want one that I can do once and only once. If you've got anything like that, then I'm listening. Well, I'm listening regardless.
I'll go back to the drawing board.
Okay. Love it. Okay. Brian Cook, underrated, he says. There you go. And if I think, because look, I love, like we all do, love playing the games. So I like to quite quickly let's just get there. Do you know what I mean? But that can be to my detriment, understandably. But if there's anything that, like you did just there, that was brilliant. You just sort of missed something that I would just click by. Then feel free to stop me again. That was amazing. Wow, what a moment.
Okay, that was special. I felt something there.
Are we in the middle of a? Do you ever go on holiday when you got these long international breaks? I'm guessing it's
on international breaks. No, I never go on holiday because I have this ingrained fear that the board is going to accidentally sell my favorite player if I ever go on holiday. So I just don't.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that you definitely can.
Pressure building. What? Right. Angel Rangel needs to calm down. Pressure building on Allcott as Rangel looks to force a move. Force a move. You got enough. You're 37 years old. You're on the bench. Look, David Newell, press officer. Don't come to me again with this kind of nonsense. I've got no time for it. I'm trying to get this.
You got a good captain. Do you have a good captain?
Do I have a good captain? We've got Grant Hall. He's okay. Rangel might have been, because he's old, he might have had a chance. But we've got better fullbacks. He's 37. His attitude stinks, Zealand.
The prime of his. It's not his footballing career. Something else. He's in the prime of something. It's not his career.
In the prime of the end of his career. Let's say that. Guys, if you've got any questions for Zealand, get them in there. Zealand, hopefully you can see the chat.
Yeah, I got it.
Right, let's see what you've got in here, guys. How are we feeling about the stream today? We're getting close to the sort of key last 10 games. There's been a lot of highs and lows, but we are really, really starting to dream up something pretty damn big now, which is what a buzz. I'd totally forgotten about the buzz that is Football Manager. I've got to say, I have jumped on the bandwagon somewhat. I've never had the amount of time to really sink my teeth into it. But this, obviously, the situation that we're all in at the moment has allowed us to kind of do some of this. And I'm amazed at how invested I am in this series.
It's so like I grew up playing sports. I was that kid that just loved to play sports because I love the adrenaline of it. And you can honestly get all of that from Football Manager. Like if you really throw yourself into a save, you can get that kind of adrenaline going. I mean, we actually did a thing on my stream where we just watched the World Cup, and I don't think I've ever been more nervous for the start of a match than when we just watched the World Cup final.
Yeah, God, mate. I don't know how I'd cope if we got to the playoff final. I'd just be a mess. I think do you go with that? Do you go comprehensive highlights? Like, how long do you make that game? Because you almost like you don't want it to end, do you?
No, yeah, I for a massive match like that, comprehensive, for sure. There's always the people that want you to watch the full match, and I'm super into the game, but I've still never been able to bring myself to watch an entire match.
Oh my god, this is
But
not good news, Zealand. Ryan Manning.
oh,
No. This is devastating. He's been our best player this season by a mile. No. Fix it, Zealand.
you got any replacements for
Fix
that?
it.
Yeah. You got any replacements for that? Because
we have
a month is.
But he's so influential. I'd call him an influential player off the top of my head. Oh no.
You might need to change your tactic to focus on another playmaker then. If your tactic kind of relies on him making plays and he's not there.
Well, yeah, I say we've got a game tomorrow, so you'll see. What's he saying? Playing football is what I do best. I know you got. I understand you got Ryan. I just you keep your head down and concentrate on the team. That's all I'm trying to say. Please don't be snippy with me just because you got injured. I'm upset as well. In that case, I'm going to crack on with the. Thank you.
So somebody asked if I've been to Ferg Burger, and most people in the chat won't know what Ferg Burger is at all, but I do. I've been, and it is in fact the best hamburger of all time. Thank you for bringing that up.
What? So
yes.
Talk me through that. Talk me through the greatest hamburger of all time.
Well, it's in New Zealand, which I wasn't buying. You know, as an American, what are you gonna? You think the best
Zealand
hamburger of all time would be New Zealand? Yeah, it is. Zealand is my first name. Yeah, 100%. But I've been to New Zealand, which is like the next most common question after they realize my name is actually Zealand.
Yes.
Well, first they think I'm from New Zealand. And then when I tell them I'm not, then they're like, well, have you ever been? And then, yes, and I've been to Ferg Burger. And that's...
So hang on. So
that's all
I've
I did.
been to New Zealand. Where is Ferg Burger in New Zealand? Do you know?
In Queenstown on the South Island. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. I went bungee jumping there, and I think it's in the same town that I went bungee jumping.
Yeah, I've been to Queenstown. That sounds really familiar.
Really?
What was it? And what I'm guessing you've got your cheese, you've got your bacon, you've got. I mean, hopefully you've got some.
It's just
spice in there as well, maybe.
Yeah, it's all it's the meat and the bun. What makes a good hamburger is you got whatever you do to the meat and whatever you do to the bun. Everything else that you put on it is extra. But the best hamburgers, you've got great meat, you got a great bun. That's what it's all about.
And what I've got to say, guys, I think this is the perfect time to plug the channel. You get some of the best minds of Football Manager in the world. I'm actually going to go to one-person team meeting for this one. You get the best people in the world of Football Manager on, and you talk. What do you ask them? You don't talk to them about the game, guys. You talk to them about their favourite hamburger. If that is not a reason to hit the subscribe button, I do not know what is. Hit the like button whilst you're there. It gives us some good luck. Right. Let's play a game. This is big. Let's get ourselves. I want to be in. We must be in the playoffs by the end of this stream. If I can't do it with the god of the game, essentially we're turning this into the Truman Show. And I've got you, who knows more than probably 99% of the population. And then I've got Miles Jacobson, God. If we can't get in the playoffs, I might just call it a day. I don't want to put pressure on Miles if he is watching. But yeah. Right. So massive loss here. Ryan Manning is out. This is huge. But let me run through the team that we've got here. Liam Kelly has been superb in goal for us this season. He's playing that sweeper keeper role. Got this Gegen press going on, but it's custom approved by Dr. Benji himself. And then at the back line, we've got Todd Kane on the bench. Where are you, Todd? Reveal yourself. There's Todd. Todd is very, very good. And part of me wonders, I don't want to be too focused on the bias of like the new signing. I think James Justin is a really good option, but Todd Kane is a very, very good backup. So we've got him as an option on the right hand side because we need to keep players fresh. Hall of Barbe. Sorry, mate.
You have Jack Byrne.
We've got Jack Byrne. Yeah,
the Jack Byrne.
Jack Byrne. Is that a moment? Is that a moment? Did we just have a moment?
I'm gonna start crying.
This is good, right? Is this good or bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. I signed Jack Byrne in Iceland in FM18. Okay. Jack Byrne was my star midfielder for Well, I went to the Champions League knockout stages with Jack Byrne on my team. That kid 2
Team
years
in
ago.
Iceland.
Oh my god. Yeah,
That's
with a team in
amazing.
Iceland.
Wow. Okay, so
And he
let's
was
talk Jack Byrne. Let's talk Jack Byrne because he's currently on the bench. Right,
you got
Jack.
to put him in for Manning, right?
Yes. Well,
This is the
so is
spot.
he? Can he play the Mazzala role for
Nah.
us?
Click on him. Let's
Will he do a job for us in the Mazzala role? Because the two wingers that I've got in Asai Samuel and Eze, they are QPR legends already, despite being young players. They're very, very exciting young talent, and I want to play both of them. But
yeah.
I would like to get Jack
That's
Byrne
fine.
involved. So we could do
Well,
Amos is a very good box to box midfielder. So we could do that.
Move the Metsala to the other side. Switch the two.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Need Byrne
You're right. He's
next
better
to
on the
Asai.
right. He is better on the right.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a quick way of doing this. But anyway, just making the Mazzala. He looks a touch stronger there.
Well, he's also if he's on the same side as Eze, they're gonna run into the exact same spot.
Yes, fair enough.
Because Metsala gets into the inside forward position.
Right, that makes sense in terms of Eze's performances aren't always great when Ryan Manning has been playing in that Mazzala role. So maybe I thought that might be the case. Like when I watched your video, you were talking about roles. That made total sense. So maybe this will work better for everyone. Got Jeff Cameron, so we've got an American in there.
Yes. Oh, Jeff.
So he prefers to be an anchor man. We've also got Dominic Ball who can play, and he prefers to be a DM. Should I be too concerned about playing him as an anchor man or a DM? Does that matter too much?
How aggressive do you want your fullbacks to be?
I'm happy for them to get on. I am happy for them to get on, yeah.
Then just play him as an anchor man. And then it basically turns into a back three if you get caught in the counter.
Okay, I like that. Yes, we like that a lot. Okay, now here's the obvious, easy change that we're going to make. And I don't know when the next time we'll see him because every game matters now. Troy Parrott, we've got on loan. We've got a lot of loan players, I'll be honest.
Oh, Troy. Okay, let's go. Complete forward attack.
Actually, so Dr. Benji did say something about... Tell me, I don't mind doing either of these. He can be complete forward. Benji liked him as an advanced forward attacking. Which role do you think would be better for him?
I have to be honest. I used to
Please do.
Full stop every time they were complete forward. I would put them as that. And then I had Erling Haaland. I'd never coached Erling Haaland before, and I was coaching him in this year's game. Mm-hmm. And I swear to you, he was better as an advanced forward. So there's something about being a complete forward where unless their skills are perfectly set up for it, they're actually better at a different role, even though complete forward sounds cooler. So if you could click on Troy Parrott, I mean, we just have a look at him.
Yeah, let's have a look at him. Let's do it. Because I reckon a lot of people, when we were assembling our squad, Troy Parrott was a name that was spoken of very, very highly, very, very consistently. And so we wanted to bring him in. So this might be good for a lot of people who are watching, who've got their own games going on at the moment. So yeah, as a complete forward, that's good.
He's not. What you need out of a complete forward is basically someone who can do every part of the attacking third of the game. You need someone who can pass, who can run with the ball, who can dominate in the air, and who can score. He's pretty good in the air. He's pretty good as a goal scorer. His problem is that I don't think he's a great facilitator.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you don't need him to get on the ball until you're already in the attacking third, advanced forward will work. And he'll just stay farther up the field.
I'm happy with that. I think that's been sometimes he's not got involved. We've got Eze to do that. So Eze's been a bit of a conundrum as well. Actually, Eze, I think he's probably what's the difference between that inverted winger or an inside forward. I know he's amazing. Like, I've seen him in the flesh, and I know that Football Manager. There's no way they wouldn't have him as an integral part of a good QPR team. He's our number 10, but I'm not sure I'm getting the best out of him. It might be due to the Mazzala element of having Ryan Manning in the team, or it might be I'm not playing him in the right role. It'd be interesting to know what you think when you look at it. Look at his stats there.
He's an inside forward. So you see that crossing is not good. It's 9, right? And see when you click on inside forward, it doesn't use crossing. So what an inverted winger is you know those players in real life where they drive towards the inline, but then they bring it back to their inside foot to play the ball in the box? Mm-hmm. That's what an inverted winger, where an inside forward is basically Arjen Robben. They're going to take the ball, they're going to try and cut to the top of the box, and then either pass or score. Okay. So they don't use their crossing. They don't use their crossing at all. That's where you want him because he is so.
So I want to get him on.
He's a very, very good dribbler.
Okay.
I mean, it's attack or support. I mean, but
let me try support for this game. I wonder if I can get a little bit more,
okay.
Especially if he's going to kind of come in and use that area, because Amos is box to box. He'll arrive later, won't he? If he does go forward, so that space there is there for him to use, right?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so otherwise, I think this could be the team moving forward. We've got a very good bench. We've got good players on the bench. I think I might even look. I actually, Danny Graham fans are not going to be happy with this, but I'm going to actually. Oh no, he's not in there. It's fine. But Manning's got to come out. I'm going to put Hugo in instead. So we've got a different option as a forward. Another good option that we've got is Billy Gilmore. There's been a lot of talk about his sort of stamina as a young player, 18 years old, first taste of championship football. But yeah, he's also a very good player in terms of him getting on the ball. And sometimes I think you can have box to box midfielder and a deep line playmaker. They'll work well together, right?
Yes. I've used them together before.
Great. Have you got any great stories about Icelandic Champions League victories with Billy Gilmore? That would help my confidence. No, no, fine.
No.
Okay. Oh god, I nearly didn't make that change. Thank you, everyone in the chat. You're always there to pick me up when I trip over. Advance forward, attacking.
There we go.
Okay. Right. So here we are. We're good. I think we've got options on the bench. Jack Clark as well. Very good option. I might have too many lone players in. Let's have a look. Yes, we have. Damn. So we'll have to get rid of one of them, which can be... I'm going to get rid of Clark for a game. Rangel, no chance. You're not going in, you miserable git. Do one, son. Do one. That's it. Right. We move into our first game of the stream. Welcome, everyone, to the 5-year plan. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Miles Jacobson on at 5 p.m. Before that time, let's get the like ratio up. Only 80 likes. 568 of you watching right now. Come on. Give us some of that gold dust. That wasn't me doing something different. Give me some of the gold dust that comes with hitting the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And let's dare to dream of Queen's Park Rangers being back in the Premier League. Let's go to the dressing room. Right, so I'm just going to go with this is the Dr. Benji way of doing this. I don't know if you agree with this.
Oh, does he hand it over?
He's given me this before, right? He goes,
okay.
You go calm. So I'm going to go, all the best out there, fun today. Then you go passionate. I have faith in you with the defense and the midfield, and you leave the attackers alone. Is that something you do?
I go to the players individually and tell them I have faith in them for big matches.
Really, just one by one. So it's literally, you can see it on you. You close your eyes, don't you? You close your eyes and you're literally going around the changing room going, I have faith in you.
Yeah, just walking. I believe in you, man. Talking the trash can in the corner. No, it's honestly, it's the sort of thing you normally can hand to your assistant and they won't mess it up, but it's good to set the tone, especially when you're in a nerve-wracking situation. Like, you're obviously chasing playoff spots. Yes. You want to take the pressure off your team as much as possible. Okay. So just, hey, relax, play your natural game. But if you're exactly. If you're trying to get rid of complacency, then you want to be, super hardo all the time and assertive, and I'm expecting a good display and whatever. But right now, you're doing it right. That's fine.
Good to know. Right. So we're going to kick off here. The one thing we didn't talk about was being positive or balanced. I didn't actually show you that other side of it, which we can maybe do that in the next game, or might even need to use in this one. I'm going to go, we're away from home against Forest. I'm going to stick with balanced for now. I feel positive about this. They're 14th in the league. We can dare to dream here. Right. Come on, the lads. Just keep this going. Keep it moving forward. The one thing...
What highlights, John?
My highlights are... I don't know. Yeah, we've had there's been a lot to talk about. Key highlights. Key highlights. That's fine. And we go with the director here. Some people get a bit annoyed about it being laggy, but 2D is cursed, I've heard. Oh, but actually, someone told me that you could dial down the quality of this bit. So I might show
absolutely
you that if this feels a bit too laggy at some point. Get them, boys! Come on. It's fine. No,
he's on it.
Zealand. That's fine. Don't worry about that. We're fine. Yeah, how do I do that?
It's actually you might be able to do it now. I don't know if you can do it during a match. It's in the settings when you're on the main. We'll just do it after this match.
We'll do it after. That's a good one to know.
Yeah.
Lee Batchelor. Oh, Captain Jack, meet me by the railway track. That's a QPR song. If you haven't heard of it. With a scarf in your hand. I will be your Rangers man. Come on, you R's. Nothing happening so far. Let's go with the one shout I always do. Get creative, guys. Oh, look, here we go. They're about to. Come on, the lads. Yes! Get in there. Up the boys. Grant Hall, our skipper, scoring the goals. Look at that.
At a boy, Jack.
We'll be talking about this in the match review come Monday. 3D is what's cursed, says Mazzala FM. Incorrect. We're 1-0 up. We're on course to get ourselves in the playoffs. Come on, the lads. Cameron in that anchor role gets the ball out to Justin, the new loan signing. He gets across in early. Oh, just drops out. Over to Amos. Amos back to Eze. Eze looking to... He's got a new role there, maybe. Maybe an inside forward support. Wallace, the left back. Eze! Yes! Come on, the lads! Oh, Zealand, it's happening. It's happening. For those of you who invested, I put a tweet out. Probably 2 weeks ago. We were in October of the season. I said, join us now. Earn it. You can say, I was there when the fortunes changed, and here they come.
Oh,
fortunes are changing. Here we go, Zealand. Here we go, son. Happy days. Dominating the game. Look, we've got one more shot. Look how much we're dominating it. It's about the goals, though. 2-0. Happy days. Here we go. Dressing room. Whew.
All right. Definitely, you got to praise him, right?
Big time. Big time. What's that snake John Eustace saying about this? I think we should let the team know, appreciate their efforts. Well, obviously, John. Zealand literally just said that to me. What is up with him? Passionately, I'm very happy with the way things are going. Keep it up, lads. They're extremely delighted. Why wouldn't they be? Imagine if they weren't. That'd be a shame.
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Football Manager. I wouldn't put it past him. Click on analysis. I just want to show you my favorite thing to look at.
Whoa.
Click on analysis.
Yes, let's go now.
If you want to figure out if your mentality is right and if your gegenpress is working, you can see where your players are spending their most time. Just the heat map.
Right.
The rest of the stuff you can get bogged down in the details. So we're dominating this right now. We're the one up the field. We've got them all backed in. That's good. I just wanted to make sure.
Lovely. Okay, let's go back to the pitch. Let's keep it going. I want a big win. We haven't pumped anyone yet. That's what I would like to see. I'd love a 5 or 6. What's your greatest win? What's your biggest win?
My current save, I'm in Belarus. So once you get good in Belarus, you're significantly better than all the other teams. We played a league match that I won 15-0, I think.
Wow.
But it's Belarus.
Yeah.
We paid the refs. It was
Yeah. There's a lot of corruption, possibly, allegedly. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Give the ball. Don't get done on one ball. Oh dear. Good save from Liam.
There you go.
Lackadaisical. Lozcast is back. Hello, Loz. You did a great job yesterday in the stream. So the cross. No! That grabbing boy. Damn. You're going to see.
He's
this
good
is
in
the
real
problem.
life too.
Corners and set pieces. That is something we need to talk about as well.
Okay. Yeah, we can tweak those after this match. I've got a certain philosophy for stopping corners because I hate giving up goals off corners. So we'll set that up. Yeah, it's terrible.
We'll get done by a lot of set pieces. Right, guys, let's finish this game now. 62 minutes. I'd love a little free one. Parry with a lovely through ball to the side. Samuel, can he finish? No, he can't because he's rubbish at finishing, but we're working on that in training, despite our coach, Andy Impey, saying it's not worth it, which is not useful, and we'll be looking for a different coach. But that's a different stream. That's yesterday's stream if you want to enjoy it. Right, we go again. Go on, Barbite, the Frenchman. Waltzing up. That's a different country, I understand that, but it's still the way he was moving. Justin with the ball, looking to get being patient there, though. It's good. Cameron, that anchor roll. Looks happy there, just trotting along. There is Jeff. To Amos. Amos to Cameron. A little bit of lag there, but Wallace on the overlap. Finish it now! Oh!
Come on.
Highlight after highlight after highlight.
It's a good second half.
Brian Cook, loose grabbing, is a dangerous man. I would agree. When do you like to make your subs? Should we be doing it now?
I mean, it's all dependent. I don't like that Jeff Cameron's complacent right now.
Yeah.
That's bothering me a lot. You might want to get him off.
You want him out? Wow. Ruthless, even to his own nation. Amazing. Did not expect that.
Hey, he gave up a goal against Portugal in the World Cup. I got
Did
no
he?
love in my heart for Jeff Cameron.
Dominic Ball. Wow, that was so close to the surface, that memory of Jeff Cameron. Amazing.
I can see it like it was yesterday. Him missing that ball. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
No, I have no clue.
We were playing Portugal, and
Right.
it's the United States against Portugal. They need no help to beat us. In the first 5 minutes, Jeff Cameron tries to clear a ball and hits it backwards to Nani, who just like taps it in.
Right.
I fell out of my chair. It was terrible.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think otherwise we're okay, aren't we? 6+7, 6+9. Yeah.
The fitness seems fine. I mean, some people like to take people out once they get to 70, but like below 70. But Lee Wallace has been influential. I don't want him. I want to keep him on.
And we haven't really got another left back option, to be honest, because I forgot to put Troy Parrott on the bench. Not Troy Parrott, Todd Kane. Yeah, let's keep it going for a bit longer. Then we can. I'd love a third goal just so I can do the wag of the finger. Here it may come. Let's win the ball back. Thank you.
Bring it.
Well, that's going to go to our player. We're going to do them on the break. It's a good crossfield pass to Jenkinson. No, he's in the box. Good block from Barbe. Stop them now. I'm worried about that grabbing boy. Get rid. Wallop. If that's a highlight. Is that a highlight? They've kept the ball in.
No, it's not over. It's not over.
It's not. That sounds better.
It's not over.
It's not over. Like Varsity Blues. Nah.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
All day. Come on, the lads. Come on, the lads. Where are we? We're up to 8th. Blackburn still winning games. I would not like. Come on,
take your time wasting up. We've got to take your time wasting up now.
Let's put it.
They're starting to put the pressure on. Yeah, lower your tempo to average.
Okay, well, too late. I'll do it in a minute. I'll do it after this goal.
Yeah. I got you.
To Parrott, working through the lines. Burn to Amos. Burn in a new Mazzala role. And he's found a beautiful through ball. It's Parrott. It should have been game over, but it wasn't.
Come on.
82 minutes. I'm happy to make a couple of changes here. Oh, am I? I am.
You can bet, yeah.
Eze looking a touch tired. I'm happy to do that. Mark Hughes, a good option. You could swap with him there. Straight swap. It's in his preferred role. That's all. Yeah, Gilmore. I don't know if Gilmore's the right call here. I'm happy with that. We're okay. Confirm sub. Do I always go back to play?
So if you want to try and kill this game off, you can drop your tempo and drop your passing too. Because the higher your tempo, the more you're going to turn the ball over because you're trying to force it forward.
Okay. Right. Team instructions. Tempo. Let's just go standard there. What?
Yeah, that's fine.
And this as well.
You can, if you want to drop your passing. I don't know how comfortable you are in your team knocking the ball around, or if they're.
I am.
If they feel like they can do that.
Yeah, I feel like we can. I believe in them. Come on, lads. Finish this game now. They're looking uninjured. Oh God. I hate it when that happens. No.
Bring it down. It's ours. It's ours.
No.
Whoa!
See, look, what have you done? Oh, good Lord, no. Oh, good Lord, no! See, look, you ruined my game. I'm joking.
He's off. He's off.
He's offside. He's offside. We're all right. We're okay. Good Lord. What a baptism of fire. Oh, dear me.
Now put your time wasting up all the way. Yeah,
let's do that.
Now it's hold the ball in the corner time.
Finish it off now, lads. Finish it, the game. Good Lord. Thought we'd ruin it.
That's 3. It counts just the same. That's
wherever you are in the world, let's clap the boys. Let's clap the boys. Well done. That could be a new tradition. I need some new traditions. Any ideas in the chat, guys, for new traditions that you think could work as good superstitions for us? Happy to implement them. We got over the line.
We did, yeah. I pray to the FM gods before big matches. I find that works to me.
You pray?
Oh yeah. I put on some choir music and I pray to the FM gods to give us favor on the field.
Well, we'll be speaking to an FM god in just 20 minutes.
That's true. Miles is in the Holy Sacrament.
Of course,
yeah, obviously.
I'm sure they've got they must have a different thing. It's like, I don't know.
Well, I always have this mental image of Miles is sitting at a giant control panel, and he just decides who gets screwed. Like, I've given you too much luck today, and then he like presses a button, and then you give up a 90th minute goal that is just completely undeserved.
Yeah.
And he gets to sit there and kind of watch all this happen and laugh. That's what I see in my mind.
I presume that he would have a sort of a very high quality leather chair that he generally, and at any point, if you ever wanted to speak to him, he wouldn't be at his computer typing away. He'd be facing this way, and then you would say, "Miles, can I talk to you for a second?" And he'd spin round and have a monitor.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. Apparently, he's a very down to earth guy. Apparently, he's a good lad. I've heard. He's a legend. Great, yeah. Absolute legend.
Well, he gets a load of stuff too from a bunch of salty people when they lose a match on FM. They'll always tweet at him. So I always felt bad about it for that.
You can't.
Yeah, people just come flying at him all the time. You know?
By this stage in Football Manager, you can't blame Football Manager. The game is clearly very good. It's clearly very, very good.
People are always going to nitpick the match engine and like, my players don't finish 1v1s enough, or like set pieces are too broken, or long shots are broken. There's always something that people will think is broken, but I feel like
I think they've proved it, haven't they? They've put the work in. I feel like it's a pretty solid game. Let's be honest. I mean, how do you replicate something that in real life is so unpredictable? That's their problem. Amazing.
Like
exactly.
if they made it boring and predictable, then the game wouldn't be exciting. So sometimes you were the better team and you lose, and it just sucks. But it's the reason that there's no eSports league for Football Manager, because you can't
it's tough. Yeah.
How are you going to be the best Football Manager player ever? Because it's basically it's Miles sitting there flipping a coin 55 times, and if it gets 35 heads, then you win the match. If it gets 34, you lose.
Right, so 10 unbeaten there, as you can see. I'm going to race through. We've got 15 minutes before Miles turns up. So have a think about what questions you want to ask him. I'm going to have a chat with him and get him to have a look at my team, obviously. But I'd love to play one more game with your good self before. And of course, we'll have to get you back on again, mate, because this is the problem.
Of course,
I get chatting and then we don't play enough games. Sorry about that.
It's fine. Let's do your set pieces though. Before we'll do this last match. We'll do it quick.
Okay.
Let's get your set pieces taken care of.
Okay.
So
let's do that.
Miles
now,
can take care of the answer. Yeah.
Do I do that once we're at the game, or do we do that now?
We can do it. We'll do it. Yeah.
So did you say get to a game? So you broke up there for a second. Do it.
Yeah. Let's get to the game. Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Big derby match coming up against Derby County. Right.
Oh, Matt. Yeah, we have to change the graphics too. I forgot about that.
Thank
you.
Yes. Go on. How do we do that one then? Can we do that?
Go up to click the FM up in the top right.
Okay.
And you go to preferences.
Preferences.
Boom. And then type match in the search bar.
Match. Is this how you get the 50 million quid? That's what you used to be able to do back in the day. Sorry, I'm showing my age.
There should be like you scroll down and there's a bunch of settings.
Graphics
See all
quality.
these mesh. Yeah, just turn them down. You got them turned like all the way up.
Okay, let's go medium. Let's try out medium. See if we can do that.
And then you've got to scroll up. There's like some other things up there. I don't know where.
Sorry.
It was like crowd quality and mesh and things that you don't really need to be able to enjoy the game in 3D.
Right. Okay. So let's do that for the greater good. Let's do that. Match. Again. Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're all learning here. We're all learning. Match. So yeah, which ones? Just go.
And then there's this section. Yeah, crowd quality, anti. You already have that down. You can turn your crowd quality all the way down. Your shadow quality all the way down. Like you can turn them off if you just don't care about having the crowd appear. Texture quality you can turn down, and then it'll. Yeah. That's just a big blob.
I'm just gonna make. What's mesh detail? What does that mean?
I mean how detailed the models are. It's like how well the shirts and bodies are made up. Yeah,
right.
You can
I can calm down shadow quality. I can live with that. Texture quality.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're good.
Should be good. Yeah.
Okay. Let's must respond. What's this? Philip Cockus, recent comments season current overachievement. I'm going to stay in the middle, which I learned from Will Brazier. Stay away from all that. God.
Middle or no comment almost every time.
I think in my own time I would create a whole big long running feud with him, but not today because I want to play one more game. Graphics are still on high, says Charlie Taylor. Is that true?
Did they not save?
I clicked confirm. I feel like I did.
Yeah. Go to just preferences.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, you see, it's on the overview. Like before you type in match, it still says graphics quality is on high. So just like on the bottom.
Okay, let's go medium. Thank you, Charlie Taylor. That's why you're a moderator. Legend. Right, let's play derby game. 7th. So you could get us into the playoffs, possibly. We can have a look at the points. I think we might be just off it. Grant Hall scoring a goal, getting himself in the team of the week. That's good news. Let's have a quick... How do we look at the league? Oh, we're rubbish at this. I'll do it in a minute. Oh, dear. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, you got Hall's out.
That's okay. So we've got Connor Masterson comes in, straight swap, easy, young player, bright future for Queen's Park Rangers. He'll be a Pro League player, no doubt. Wing back Wallace feels like he needs to be rested. That's also something we can do. Justin can play on the left, and Todd Kane comes in. Bang bang, happy days. Otherwise, I think we're all right. Where are you? Where's your line? Where do you draw the line on your
on fitness?
On your condition, yeah.
It depends on the player for me. Now, what you have to keep in mind though, especially playing in England, where there are matches every 2 days for the entire year, every player gets jaded, and they'll get jaded before they tell you they're jaded.
Right.
So if you notice that a player starts to get bad and you're like, what? I accidentally did this to Holland when I was managing him, because you just play him in every match. But if they start to get bad and there's no explanation for it, it's because they have played in too many matches. So every single person in your lineup should not play every match unless they're a goalkeeper, basically.
Oh, okay.
Because the jadedness just gets turned. It just, as the season goes along, they'll get more and more tired. I mean, it's very realistic that way.
Okay. Right, that's good to know. Right, we've only got 10 minutes till Miles arrives. So can we do set pieces super quickly?
Yes, we'll do set pieces really, really quickly, and then I'll get out of here.
So,
well, then we'll play the match. Go to corners. We'll just do corners. Go to corners.
Okay, corners.
And what you want to do is you want to have 3 people in the middle on the top of the 6-yard box. So I want you to get your 3 tallest people and put them in the top, in the middle. So like move this right back, put him in between the other 2 guys.
Yep. Barbe.
And you want to have you want to have them in the middle. You only want 3 because then you're not going to have enough guys to mark.
Okay. So will that do it? Are we happy?
Take the right back. Take the right back and just have him wandering around the box.
What do you mean?
So like, see how everybody has go back or whatever.
All right.
So you have 4 guys along the top of the box. You only need 3. So the right back, the DR, is you're on the wrong guy.
Oh no, James Justin, because he's playing left back today. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's why he was my right back. Okay, so what do I want to change him to?
Just put him go back.
Go back. Okay. Right.
And then he pops up there. This is what I like to do. You can put guys on the post or not, depending on your philosophical differences. Like whether you believe that helps you or not. And then if you really hate giving up goals from corners, you can take the guy you have forward and drag him to the top of the box. So what you can actually do is click on him and drag him.
Okay.
It makes life easier. There you go. And then you just say edge of the area, and then he'll pick the ball up and run with it if it bounces out there.
It drives me absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Do I have to do the same for left?
Left, do the exact same, and we're ready to go.
Okay. Jeff Cameron, bang. Troy Parrott, who's actually all right in the air. Eze. Connor, there we go. Connor, you get involved, son. And then right back, we're going to change you to go back. So there we go, guys. And you'll never, this is a promise from Zealand, not me, you will never consider concede from a corner again. Right, we've got 10 minutes.
Oh, you got to move your midfielder back. Okay. We're almost done. You've got you have 2 guys on the edge of the area. So click and drag that other midfielder and just drag him a little farther to the left.
There?
Yeah. Okay. Boom.
Happy days.
Click go back.
Right, let's play.
Yep. Let's do it.
Right, Zealand, can you get 2 for 2? A lot of people who aren't QPR fans won't know that we beat Nottingham Forest in the last game away. That's only the 2nd time in our history that QPR have ever done that. Last season was the first. Steve McLaren, the manager. He lasted about 2 weeks after that, somehow, which is a shame, really. But we've made history already this season, but we could move into the Players of the Win here. So go out there and do something. I'm going to continue in the Dr. Benji frame of mind, which seems to be working. So let's keep it going.
I do think, and I want to say this, and I don't want to cross Benji because I love Benji, and have faith in a player every time they get used to it and don't respond as well to it. So maybe don't tell them you have faith in them every single time.
Okay, we can do that.
Save it for some matches you really need it.
Right, guys, here we go. Superstition 1, hit the like button as the boys come out from the tunnel. How many likes are we on? Let's have a look. 655 of you watching, only 190 likes. Come on, you lot. Don't you want us to get promoted? Smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. We're off, boys. Come on, let's have it. Queen's Park Rangers at home. Let's destroy the slot. Jack Byrne, I want some assists from you, please. Massive derby game against Wayne Rooney's Derby County. Let's go to that larger view so you can see us. Oh. First corner, 11 minutes in. He's got away with it. He was there to block it. He was back. The right back was back, so it was okay. Todd,
man.
Come on, Todd. He's a cracking little right back. It's a shame he's not on the side. We move the ball across. Justin with a shot! Oh, my God! Boom! That's why we signed him! Yes!
Come on!
Come on, the lads! That's a great start. 2 for 2 it could be for Zealand. Wow. Something's happening here, guys. I'll tell you that. Oh, dear. Come on, the lads. Great start, boys. What a strike. He's a 2-footed player. He's a great signing. Signing of the season. Come on, you guys. Go on. And
I'll give it to him.
Parrot on the edge of the... Oh, and he's been dispossessed. The lag continues, unfortunately. Bit of a shame.
Got to turn it down more, yeah. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You know where it is now. Yeah, exactly.
Barbe with the ball. He does like to drive a little bit. Don't! No, Barbe!
No!
Slide in! Oh,
what is that?
Poor finish.
Big
Rubbish from, who was
save.
that? Whitaker, I think? Got away with it there. Barbe. Amos. Come on, the lads. There's some liquid football going on here. To crack a little through ball through lines. Say Sammy, he's forgotten the ball. It's a great little cross to Eze. Comes to nothing. We've still got it just about. Byrne in his new midfield position. Todd Kane with the overlap. Looks good. And he's struck one. He wants a goal. The fullbacks are thirsty for goals. Justin spanked one in. Todd Kane wants one as well.
It's not over yet.
It's not. Oh, God. It's a long highlight. Oh, is that just because Rooney touched the ball? He's getting back on the ball now. Look, he can play a through ball. That's what he can do. I saw him recently. I've lost the road. Don't you dare. Safe hands. Okay, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. 90 minutes gone. 5 minutes. Miles Jacobson will be with us soon. Get your questions ready. Excited to chat to him. I listened to a couple of podcasts that he was in. He's like just a nice dude. It's good. I think he's the right face for Football Manager, you know. Because you want someone who you go, yeah, I get it. And he gets it. He understands what football's really about. I think that's why the game's so good, you know. 35 minutes gone. Looking good. I'll do my usual. Guys, get creative. He shouts from the side.
Hey!
Okay. And it's, look, there you go. See? James. The Messiah. Hey, come on, Eze. I'd like a touch more from you, please. To crack a little ball. To Moss, back to Eze. Go on, Eze. Hit it. Oh.
With Manning out, he's your star. He's the guy.
Yeah, we need to be getting the best from him. How's he looking? Justin with 8.2. Wow. Otherwise, quite poor from the front players, if we're honest. Okay. You want to see the analysis real quick? Let's have a look.
We're up again.
Yeah,
you're backing everybody in with the Skagen press. It's a good tactic.
Team talk. Complacent from Parrot. How do we deal with someone who's complacent?
Yeah, you tell them to concentrate. So go to Troy. You have to give the team talk first. Okay. Tell them that you think they're doing well, but they could be doing better. We've got to guard against complacency. Does your team get nervous easily?
Yes,
I'm going to trust your
they do. They do.
They do?
Yeah.
You played well, but there's still room for improvement. That's what you need to say.
Okay.
That's not going to... And then go down... Yeah, go down to Troy.
Yep.
And then see if you can get him to concentrate off of calm. Maybe... Yeah, go to calm. And you either tell him you believe in him or
I need you to calm
Go
down.
out there and go out there and show everyone what you're capable of. That's probably your best chance to shake him free. He listened keenly. I mean, that's the best you could have done there.
That's all I'm getting from it. He's he's one of them, isn't he? He's one of them. But if he scores the goals, I don't care.
He's a little live.
Do not care.
That's true.
Right, guys, last half with Zealand, who's been a joy for just now. I'll have to get myself on Twitch. We'll have to do more of this. It's been a joy.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. It's been a blast, dude.
Let's finish off this right. I do not want a last minute corner conceded. That would be a sour note to end on.
No, that would just be cosmic justice from FM thinking that I know what I'm talking about. That's what happens.
So we will be sort of in the playoff places. We'll be joint 6th, 55 points, which is 6 points out of 6 from Zealand, which would be nice. 60 minutes gone. Look at a touch anxious. Let's put this to bed, lads. Come on, finish him off. Justin, come on, Amos. He's got a strike in him. It's a poor cross, but they haven't cleared it. Burn to Kane. To Burn! Oh!
Jack!
Come on, Jack. It was like something out of Titanic there.
Please, Jack.
Very good.
Oh, it's
penalty! Oh, no! Well, oh, no, I haven't changed it. Eze's going to take it. Eze has had a poor record when it comes to penalties. Why have I not changed it? I said it. He's put it away now. Get in the lads. Go. Up the lads. Up the lads. Come on, man. Come on.
Yes. Okay.
That needs to change, though, because Eze, when he gets to the playoffs, and if he takes a penalty, I'm going to cry because I just don't think I can deal with it. And I will be watching everything in slow motion. So it'll be even more excruciating. 70 minutes gone. We're looking good. We're looking real good. I mean, I'm going to go 75. I'm going to make a couple of changes.
Yeah. Take Troy off. He hasn't really touched the ball. He's just not into it today. If you have I don't know who Hugo is, but
we've got Hugo, who is happy to be he's as good as a pressing forward, which I know you're a fan of.
That works. Yes, that works.
And let's get Gilmore some time. He can come on for your boy Burn.
Burn's motivated. That's I mean, I love Burn too, but
he's too motivated. And I've made the call.
Well, he's too motivated. Oh no.
Yeah, far too motivated. I want a bit more of a Troy Parrott kind of sulky
I have a strong urge to play "My Heart Will Go On" right now in memory of watching him sink into the ocean.
Poor dude. Last one, we're going to give Chair some minutes. Why not? He's not really featured this season. He's been on the bench as Chair. Forget it. We finish off the game. Come on, lads. I wouldn't mind a 3-0 win. 2-0 wins just as good. It's not as good, obviously. 3's much better. But we're running down the clock. It's 5 o'clock. Miles is going to be with us very, very soon. Let's just run down the clock. Come on, the lads. 2 out of 2. Imagine Miles comes in. We go on a 6-match losing streak. That'd be a disaster.
Bring Zealand back. Bring Zealand back. No, I'm kidding. No,
I'm calling your name.
I'll be whipping them up. I'm going to pay a few people to go in the stands.
Yeah, actually, guys.
Yes.
There we go. 2 out of 2. Round of applause wherever you are in the world right now. It's a global game, but we're coming together. Come on, the lads. 2-0. We are very close to the playoffs now. Mate, thank you so much. Look, I got so excited. My contact lens is coming out. That's what you've done to me, Zealand. Mate, we'll get you on again soon because that was really, really helpful. Yes. That seems disingenuous as I'm putting my contact lens back in, but I do mean that.
No, yes. I know. This was a really good time. I would do it again for sure.
Legend. Right, everyone. Zealand has so many good tutorials on his channel. Go check it out. FM base. Just type it in after the stream, obviously. And we'll get best Miles. I will do. Right. I will, mate. Thank you so much. So he's on his way out the door, but we've got a new assistant manager, and I can't believe I'm even going to say this. It's going to be Miles Jacobson. Wowza. Right, I'm going to see if I can find him on Discord. Right, I'm going to go to the start scene here, guys, just so I can find him, and then I'll be back in 1 minute. Get your questions ready. Hello, everyone. We are back, and we are back with the man. Hopefully, we'll see him straight away here. We're about to find out. There he is. He's looking small at the moment. We're going to make him bigger. Don't worry.
I am small. So
oh, you are small. That makes two of us. I'm a small man myself, so this one's for the small guys out there. Welcome to the main man. I honestly am. I'm in awe. I can't believe I'm actually here chatting to you on my Football Manager stream. This is the thing of dreams. Thank you.
It's an honour and a pleasure to be here. So thanks for inviting me on.
Amazing. So let me just figure out, make sure I'm just focusing on you. People can see you a little bit better. Hopefully that will
Can
help.
I just apologise for the ironing board that's in the background? I can't find anywhere else for it at the moment. So It's just it's not something I use very often.
I see.
But by the end of this, I'll probably be using it on my hair to try and get that straighter because unfortunately Twitter voted for me to not cut my hair throughout this whole thing, and literally my hair just grows out. It doesn't grow down, so it's going to look ridiculous in a few weeks. Even more than normal in a few weeks.
Is there an element of that's a sort of a good thing, as in like at least you don't have to think about like what what the situation was with your hair? What was your plan with your hair before all of this?
I have a pair of hair clippers, or is it a pair of hair clippers? I have some hair clippers, and it's just going to be grade 4 once a week. Where instead I'm going to end up with this ridiculous fro. The last time I grew my hair out, I was about 18, and it grew out to such ridiculous proportions that someone dared me to go and get dreadlocks. And there are pictures out there of a younger me with dreads where I just look like I look like what I always imagined Stig of the Dump, the book character, would look like.
Well, yeah, I heard that because I heard I listened to a podcast with you, Quickly Kevin podcast, because I told a friend of mine, Will Brazier, who's a big Football Manager fan. He said, "Oh my god, he's an icon." I said, "Yeah, you're right." And I don't really understand what he's doing on this stream, but he's kind enough to do it. So I'm going to keep quiet. I probably should have kept quiet there. But he was saying that he said there's a great podcast with you on the Quickly Kevin podcast. Is it Quickly Kevin podcast? I think it is.
Yeah. Anyway. So Josh Widdicombe did really well with that because he's the host of the podcast. And I hadn't met him before, but he'd been a big FM fans for years. So I've spoken to him on email a couple of times. And basically, he gave me half a bottle of wine before I went in to do it. So today I'm on water, I'm afraid. So, right. But yeah, he gave me half a bottle of wine, and it was like I was in a pub with some mates, even though I'd met them about 15 minutes before, so enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, if it felt like that, I've got to be honest. So you are here on the stream, on the 5-year plan stream. I am, just to give you a bit more understanding, I guess, of me. I've played Championship Manager 97-98 was my first season, but actually, if I'm being really honest, I haven't played for a long time, and the situation that we're in at the moment, I kind of. I think my Football Manager sort of soul kind of came out and went, there's not going to be any football soon. Now's your chance. You've got a chance to make this change. And what I did was I went to Dulwich Hamlets, the last game that was kind of really available for people to go to, something that would be kind of unheard of a week later. Went to that game and I was chatting to a few people about it. I was thinking, I think I'm just going to start a Football Manager series because I need that feeling of when the ball goes in the net. I need it. And so I just tweeted out, I'm thinking of buying Football Manager now. And the response I got from that tweet itself was amazing because people understand the feeling that you get with this game. And I'd forgotten about it. I'd forgotten about that feeling, but I've come back to it and I've started this series and I've got a Watford shirt up there for you today. But I think there's a lot of links between QPR and Watford in terms of their sort of status in the game. That team that's kind of Division 1 could go to League 1 or Division 2, but could also make their way into the Premier League. And when I think fans of those kind of clubs, they understand losing, but they're happy to dream as well. And so Football Manager, this whole series is just like, I think I'm sort of set that way. That was kind of my first question to you, as someone who's sort of a Watford fan, a fan that's, a London club that's not the biggest London club, but still a club that can do things. Is that something that you really love about what you do now, that you've got Football Manager and it can allow you to kind of achieve your dreams a little bit?
Well, it's the whole premise of the game is, I'm really lucky. I get to make computer games for a living. I haven't always been as lucky. I've flipped burgers. I've had jobs that I've done to earn money rather than jobs that I've done because I enjoyed them. And as well as making the games, I've also been very lucky that I had a career in the music industry. But I know how hard people who are doing jobs that they don't enjoy, I know how hard those people work, and I know how hard those people work to get a little bit of money. So with FM, we are trying to make the best value for money game on the planet. That you spend your 40 quid a year and you get the most hours out of it that you possibly can. But also to have an escape, because most of the population hate the job that they do. I love my job. I think you probably love your job as well. We're both lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people are not us, and they don't enjoy what they do. So if we can give them an escape into a parallel universe where they are doing something that they want to do, which is being football managers, then that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to do. And when people do their induction at the studio and they're joining as a QA person, they do their induction. Part of that is a video that I did up that will never be available for the public. Sorry, called The Suspension of Disbelief, where I'm talking about Football Manager and talking about it in the same breath as the Star Wars universe and the Marvel universe, and how everything has to be canon. So in Marvel, and the reason that the Marvel films were so successful is because all of those 21, 22 films merged into one at the end, and there were memories from each of those films. So something like Ant-Man and the Wasp, which wasn't the most successful film, ended up being pivotal to the plot. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but ends up being pivotal to the plot. And all the Star Wars films, again, they're always canon. There are always things that remind you of the other films.
Yeah.
So we're doing a similar thing, but we're doing it with the real world initially. And rather than having 1,000 non-playable characters like you have in the Marvel, we've got hundreds of thousands in the footballers who all have to act like they would in real life. But then as soon as you hit the continue button, we also have to have it in the world that the players that are coming through, so the regens that are coming through, the new gens. I know I've said regen, terrible.
Oh, is this something? So I've just so you know, so I host a fantasy Premier League show.
Yep.
For the Premier League, and there's a lot of sort of words, and I've realised that from that community, there's words that you can say and you shouldn't say. For example, you shouldn't be saying essential. Have you just said a word that you shouldn't say then?
I have a go at people for saying regen on Twitter, and I've just said the same thing.
Oh no.
So the new gens that are coming through, they also have to act as though they are real people and that they are canon. So it's an important part of what we do, that everything has to seem realistic in this world, whether you are in the first season or whether you're 10 seasons in or 20 or 30 seasons in. It still has to be and feel realistic.
Right. So I've got another question kind of on that theme, and then we've got you till 6, which is amazing. Thank you for sharing your time with me.
You can have me a little longer if you want to.
Okay, we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. I'll show you. So we're joint 6th. So we're making our way into playoffs, and QPR playoffs is what I wanted. This was the dream from the start. Was the playoff final. So we've got all the guys in the chat who have got a couple of questions for you. I put a couple of bits and pieces on the community tab. So we'll do a few of those, and then we'll get to the game, if that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. If I seem distracted at any point, it's because my partner will be coming in and distracting me. She's just come and taken a load of Pringles. I have extreme dill pickle cucumber Pringles. Oh, wow. She's just opened the door, come in and nick some Pringles, and then got back.
So if I see you just sort of look over to the distance going with angry eyes, that's what that is.
Doing weird body shapes or weird eyes, it's probably her. She's now getting a drink, so I'm making loads of noise in the background. But
it's okay. No worries. So yeah, here's the question from me. As the sort of game evolves, I think a lot of people, what I find amazing about Football Manager is that the sort of balance between the nostalgia of those first games and how it's evolved. And I think the same goes for football a lot of the time. People love the game so much when they're younger; it all feels so much more romantic. And as the game moves forward and becomes modern, you find it a little bit tougher to kind of retain that love sometimes. So my question to you was, how have you found the evolution and the balance between having a game that's like the real world, but also having a game that people can enjoy and tap into those sort of lovely feelings that you have as a youngster playing the game?
So we have different kinds of people who play the game. So we have the hardcore of the hardcore. We then have new players, and we have players who play it and come back every couple of years. And the hardcore of the hardcore have probably been with us for a very long time, and they want different things to the new players. And both of those groups want different things to the people in the middle ground. And then we've got the real football stuff that we have to do as well. So it's basically trying to make sure that each year we are concentrating on all of those groups. Because if we only concentrated on the hardcore of the hardcore, then we would have a game that would only sell to the hardcore. They would love. And it was a bit like, Football Manager Live was a very, very hardcore game, and it couldn't be sustained commercially because of that. So we have to look at all the different groups of people. So the realistic football side of things comes first, always, because there are always things that we have to do. And then there will also be some things that we're doing where we're predicting what's going to happen in football, because that makes us look clever. So there's always some of those things, and then a different spread amongst the other features. So that's how we keep refreshing ourselves and reinventing ourselves, really. And we think about this stuff a lot. So we look at a lot of other entertainment industries. And you guys are probably all too young for this, but at the time Madonna was coming through, there's also someone called Cyndi Lauper, who was a superstar at the time as well. Cyndi Lauper carried on doing the same thing. Madonna kept reinventing herself. Now, with Football Manager, we have the same game every year, right? But if you go back and play Football Manager 2006 now and compare it to FM20, they are poles apart, even though the premise of the game is still the same.
Yeah.
If you go back to CMO 102, which I know is lots of people's favorite game, that was really, really simple. And the mobile game kind of carries on that spirit now. So Football Manager Mobile carries on that spirit now. But with FM, we want to be detailed simulation, but it has to be fun. Because if it's not fun, then people aren't going to spend lots of time playing it. Can I just pause for 1 sec? I just want to go and close another door.
Okay, the Pringles have gone. Go get him. Guys, so don't worry, in the chat, I've got one more question that's not actually about Football Manager that I want to ask Miles, and then
go on. I'm back.
He's back. So his last question from me, not to do with Football Manager totally, or maybe it is a touch, because I think it's part of the sort of the core of why I like it as well. And again, I kind of come back to this Watford QPR thing. In that podcast that I spoke about earlier, you were talking about Graham Taylor and how you wrote a letter to him and he wrote back to you, and how integral that was to your kind of love of the game. And I imagine of who you love in the game. And because I think when you're a fan of a QPR or Watford, sometimes it's the characters as much as how good they are. It's sort of how they do stuff as well as sort of what they do. I've kind of got a similar thing where I have a series called The Process, where I interview different people. And Ian Holloway was the guy as a QPR fan, because I said to him at the end of a game once when we got relegated to the Championship, I went, "Oh, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter." And he snapped at me almost and went, "No, it does matter. It won't happen again." Those little kind of moments for those characters that are so crucial to you, that are everything when it comes to football. This has got nothing to do with Football Manager, but when I heard this, and you were talking about Graham Taylor, I found it really interesting. Graham Taylor became a bit of a joke with the whole England manager thing, and Ian Holloway at times is seen by some people as a little bit of a joke, and it upsets me a little bit. I just wondered, that popped into my head when I was listening to that podcast. How did you feel during that time when you've got a guy who's your hero and he was kind of going through something like that? I know it's a bit of a tangent.
Well, I felt bad for him at the time, but I didn't know him as a person at that time. So I'd had limited interaction with him, and it didn't spoil my memory of him because I knew what a great club manager he'd been for Watford, and I knew what he'd done at Watford, you know, not just on the pitch, some of the stuff off the pitch as well, such as me sending him a letter and him phoning me up, you know. And the letter that I sent him was, we'd just been battered, and I'd saved up my pocket money to go to that game for months. My parents weren't football fans, so I didn't have people to take me to games. So I'd saved up my pocket money, and I sent him a letter saying that people, you know, the players hadn't tried. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose, right? But players not trying is a bad thing when I've saved up my pocket money. And he phoned me up to ask whether he could read that letter before their next match, before the game as a team. Now, I've no idea whether he did that or not, right? But it meant a lot to me. And it's one of the reasons that I reply to so many people on Twitter. And I know that sometimes I get it wrong in the way that I reply. When people are being dicks to me, I'm a dick back, and I should just ignore them. And I've got better at that apart from today. I replied to a couple of people today I probably shouldn't have done. I am my own worst critic as well, which not everyone will believe. I've never been happy with the game that we've released, despite so many people out there being happy.
Yeah,
I've never been happy. We can always do more. We can always try and do more.
It's a great attitude, though.
And with Graham, I got to know Graham quite well in the last few years, because I'm spoiled rotten at Watford. I often go to the director's box now, and know a lot of people who work at the club. I've been involved for a long time, and I help them out where I can. And getting to know Graham over the last few years of his life, and he was really hurt by that documentary, like personally hurt, because that wasn't the man that he was. And I don't miss a lot of people, but I really miss Graham.
Really, that says it all, doesn't it? Really, I think I think there's a nice element of that with Football Manager, because people become, you know, as you know, and I don't want to do that interview where we run through all those players again. We've all heard the name Tonton.
The ones that we got wrong,
whatever it is.
The data mistakes, those ones.
Yeah, I did hear that as well. I find that funny that you kind of everyone else loves it for it. Do you think the game would be as successful if you didn't have those data mistakes, as you call them?
I think we would be as successful because everyone falls in love with new gens, and you see people like Mr. Sharples and even turn that into series. So everyone gets it from that perspective. When I think of those players as new gens, then it's fine. But as I said, I'm my own worst critic. So pretty much everyone else in the studio absolutely loves the stories about Toe Madeira. And you know, some of the players love it as well. Cherno Sam has absolutely no problem with it because he knows that he was talented and he threw it away.
Yeah.
There are other players who blame us for their career going south when it's nothing to do with us. We just said that they were good prospects. So, you know, it's always great when people talk about that stuff, but it's also difficult for me when people are talking to me about our back catalogue rather than our current games and our future games, because that stuff for me is all in the past, and I'm always looking at the future. So it's a difficult balance because there's so much nostalgia for those people, and I don't want to trample on that nostalgia. But stop copying me into your favourite CMO 102. It's great that those things happen. It's great that there are people out there talking about some work of ours from 19 years ago. So, you know, I'm very grateful that there are still people playing those games, now. And I'm grateful that people have memories of our games throughout the years. You know, it's fantastic. But for me, it's my past, and I'm looking at the future.
Yeah, and Joe, as someone who kind of had that nostalgia and still had that nostalgia, but hadn't played for a while and has now come back to it. What I've kind of realised now is there are new storylines always ready to be written, and that's the kind of exciting thing about the new game. I want to ask you some questions from the people.
Right.
So let's do it. So guys, get in the chat. I put a message out on my community tab on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, that will happen in future with other guests that we have on. So subscribe to the channel and you'll see that on my community tab. So Sam Cox said, will the delay of the current season of football affect the next installment of Football Manager? I've got quite a few people kind of asking that one.
Well, the stock answer that I use on Twitter for that is we haven't announced any future plans yet. So we can't talk about delaying games that we haven't announced. But obviously, the current situation doesn't make it easy for us. Not just the fact that football doesn't know what it's doing yet, but also the fact that our whole team, 160 of us at the studio, plus all of our researchers, we're all working from home,
of course.
which is more complicated. It does complicate things, but the team so far have been doing a fantastic job, phenomenal job on the stuff that we are working on for the future. Everyone's really responsive and cracking on with it. But it's more the real football stuff that is going to cause us the most problems.
Yeah.
We are working on future stuff. We're working on more future stuff than anyone out there knows. And I'm certainly not going to be revealing what the other stuff is today because the time isn't right yet. But the team at Sports Interactive are working incredibly hard. We do, of course, have to take into account that some of the team are going to get ill. Some of the team are going to have family members who are going to get ill. And we're hoping that the community can accept that as fact if future feature sets aren't as huge as they'd like, because any time that people work on the title is time lost in the dev process. I announced on Twitter today that we've hired 4 people this week. I think we've got 12 other roles that are being advertised at the moment. We've got about another 10 ready to go live. So, we're still growing as a company, and what we call it at the moment is business as unusual, because it's definitely unusual, but we are working stuff. We're hoping that stuff will be incredible and everything that people want. But I am also very mindful of making sure that my team's mental health is protected throughout all of this, in the same ways we've put the mental health advertising holdings into the game. My team the team at SI are incredibly important to me. They are friends as well as colleagues. And my first responsibility is to making sure that they are all right. And my second responsibility is delivering in the future the best games that we've ever made, which we try and do every year. So it's too early for me to say whether we're going to have a game out this year, whether it's going to be next year. It's too early for me to say what the feature set is going to be, because it's a very fluid situation, and I'll be doing some work on it whilst everyone else is tucking into to Easter eggs at the weekend. I will be still tucking into Easter eggs, but I'll be doing it at my desk, actually working on some of the feature set. Now that we've got a better picture after a few weeks of self-isolation of what that means productivity-wise, and what that's going to mean for people's mental health. So someone on Twitter earlier replied to a message that I sent going, God, you must be a terrible person to work for. And for a start, no one works for me. We all work together. We are a team that work together. And, that comment, I don't normally get hurt by that. I actually got hurt by that comment because the stuff that we're doing at the moment to try and keep the team strong and safe. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that no one will ever know, that I'm quite proud of, and I'm incredibly proud of the way the team have reacted and the ideas that they have been coming up with to make everyone's lives a little bit better.
Yeah.
So we're working hard. And genuinely, that comment got to me today, and the fact that everyone on Reddit thinks that I'm a very rude word that I'm not about to say, based on an AMA a few years ago where I answered 30 odd questions in an hour, and then someone wrote a dissertation that I didn't have time to get to, and I made a flippant comment on it, which was stupid of me. But I'm not a horrible person.
I don't. But look, honestly, there's no way. There is no way you would be here right now if you were a bad person. You don't need to be wasting your time with this.
I might be a bad person. I might be a bad person. I'm just not a horrible one.
Okay, good to know. That's good to know. Right, let's keep asking questions then. We won't get to all of them, guys, before you ever go at Miles, because we don't want that. But I'll.
I can definitely stay till 6:30 if you wanted me to.
Okay.
If you're still planning on broadcasting.
That's
so
amazing. That's no time limit. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Right, let's ask a few more questions. I mean, because importantly, I want you to sort of cast your eye on my team as much as anything else as well. So, but well, yeah,
I can't actually see your screen at the moment. I'm seeing the Discord logo in an orange box at the moment.
We cannot have that. Let's change that. Turn on screen share. Football Manager.
There we go. Oh, how beautiful.
Right. You said there won't be too many spoilers in terms of the next game, but I think I can sort of spin this a touch. John Dewhurst, who I know is a big fan of yours, and I think maybe has asked me before to try and do a podcast with you, and this is kind of it in itself. But anyway, with the rising importance of social media, fan-driven media, and punditry, will this have more impact in future FMs? Right now, we have Twitter, but it doesn't play too big a role in the game. I can spin that question maybe a little bit and go, previously, have you seen trends before anyone else has really seen that in the game? And is there anything that you see becoming more and more important when it comes to football management or the game itself in the next 10 years that you can kind of see?
I think the media definitely needs to play a bigger part in the game, and supporters definitely need to play a bigger part of the game. But I'm not saying that that's all going to come short term.
Yeah.
So, it's an area that I think we're dealing with better than most football games, but we haven't necessarily got it right yet. And one of the things, as well as hiring people at the moment, doing freelance journos at the moment who don't have a lot of work, and that gives us an opportunity to maybe get a few more people involved than we would normally be able to on that side of things as well. So yeah, social media is important, and it's a question that I regularly ask people inside football, how much effect it has on them. I think it has more effect on club directors than maybe it does on the players. The players tend to ignore it, because when you do have a decent social media following, you are always going to get some people who are literally just there to have a go at you because their lives are so bereft of anything of interest that they get their kicks from having a go at people. So that's a side of things that we don't necessarily want to go down. Mm-hmm. But it's a question that I ask regularly of people at clubs. And one of the things that people probably don't know that we do as a studio, we have a series of lectures inside the studio that we call the Foot Talks, where someone prominent from the game, it might be a manager, a coach, it might be an assistant manager, come and get interviewed by me, with the floor then being open to the audience, with all of the questions being things that are relevant to the game. There was one that we did that wasn't relevant to the game, but all the others are things that are relevant to the game. And that helps steer a lot of things as well. So we are asking questions about, of those people, about the press, about the fans, because you can't get a better insight on that stuff without asking those people directly.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, well, it's sort of the due diligence that you do with the players themselves. So you kind of need to have the similar thing when it comes to the media and everyone else.
Yeah.
Right, next one we've got Would you ever consider, says Artin Barawi, we're going into the live chat now. Would you ever consider adding a soundtrack to a future FM game?
We've considered it in the past.
Dangerous,
I've tried to do various deals with Spotify in the past as well, and with Apple Music. The problem with doing an actual soundtrack, and I used to put game soundtracks together. So here you go, little known fact. I put the soundtrack together for Gran Turismo 2, a few FIFA games.
Because you're perfect, aren't you? You've got that background in music and, obviously games.
It was while I was still straddling both. So I did over 40 game soundtracks, including some really big games. The problem with doing that is when you're doing Gran Turismo, it's easy because Gran Turismo, when I first got when I got the original version of Gran Turismo that was being worked on, all of the music was Japanese acid jazz, and some of the tracks,
which you're a fan of course.
Not all of the tracks on there made you want to drive quickly. I found myself at points driving slowly. Hey, someone would overtake me, and it's like, yeah, this is wrong. Yeah. So we went for very fast rock, very fast techno, for that, to build that adrenaline and get you racing as fast as you can. And there are a bunch of sports games that I play that I just turn the music off because I don't want to hear the music that some music supervisor decided was right for their core demographic, if you like. With something like film, when you're putting a soundtrack together, it has to suit the style of film. So again, with something like Fast and Furious, you're going to get fast-paced music in there. With a film that's a romantic comedy, you're going to get less of that kind of music in there. Sorry, if you could see the expression on my so just ate the bloody Pringles.
Thanks.
The look of horror on her face as she was walking through them. But I do now have no Pringles, which is a shame. But music soundtracks are something that should be fitting the atmosphere of the game. With FM, we cover so many different demographics, from people who start playing when they're 10, 11, 12, up to people who are retired. How can I possibly put a soundtrack together for that that's going to suit everyone? Yeah. So the Chase and Status and Blossoms track that we used a couple of years ago as the menu music, we thought we'd cracked it. No one's going to have a problem with this. Loads of people did. So for us, it's more a case of letting people put their own soundtracks together easier in-game is where I would like us to be. But when I first spoke to Spotify, it was so early in their their pathway that they turned around and said that they couldn't handle all our players on their servers. And then the last time I spoke to Spotify, it was, hey, you've only got a couple of million players. That's useless to us. So it's finding someone in that balance that we can work with to allow people to create them easier. Or you can just do what I do when I'm playing the game, which is put some headphones on and make my own play.
Yeah. I mean, I feel strongly about hearing that crowd, especially at the current climate. Like I don't need music right now. And to be fair, I've been streaming most of the time, so I'm okay to I don't need music in the background. But yeah.
I'm glad that you like the crowd sound, because that.
Oh, I need it. I need it.
So many people turn off the crowds, and we should have redone the sound in the game about 5 years ago. We've planned to do it every year, and it's just something that ends up getting dropped because of time. So at some point, we will improve the sound in the game.
Okay, last two questions, and then let's get to my game, because this is my channel and this is my stream, and we need to make it about my team because something's happening at Queen's Park Rangers this season. So BG123, it kind of links onto what you were just saying there. Just maybe a quick one here, I guess. How long after one game is released do you start working on the next, or is it just constant?
I'm already working on the next one by the time the game comes out. So we haven't been as good at it in the last couple of years, but we tried to work with 3-year cycles. So the feature set for FM21 was defined a while back, but at the moment there are lots of changes going on to it. We have far too many features down for FM22, and we've got a bunch of stuff down for FM23
Which
at the moment. It used to be just me that was working on this, but we've now got a team. So I'm still directing the game, and I have a features producer called Stephen who's doing a lot of the database work and getting to know features DB, because we've got around 6,000 ideas at the moment of things that we want to do at some point in the future. And then we've got Seb, who's working on the design document side of things. So whereas there were times when I would design features as well, we've got incredibly good people in the studio who are working on the designs, and those then come to me for sign-off, additions, changes. So I'm trying to work more as a director rather than a director-designer now.
Okay. And last one, which leads us into the game itself, because it's been, well, there's sort of different people have different superstitions. The question is from Melon's Scam. He says, does Miles prefer 2D or 3D? And will there be an advance on 3D? Are we looking at 4D?
I play in 3D. If you want an advance to 4D, it's really easy. You just get a and you tip it over your head whenever it says it's raining.
Yeah, play in the shower. Like
yeah, I always play in 3D, and it's a weird thing because the people who play in 2D swear blind that everyone plays in 2D. 2D and only commentary are around. It's just below kind of 9% of our total players, so the majority play in 3D. And yeah, I think that answers that one.
Yeah, for real. That's good. We're two.
But we're not going to get rid of 2D.
Okay,
so
that will make people happy, because we've had a bit of a split in the chat, but I'm a 3D man. I really am. In the game and outside it, I'd like to say. And and in the game itself, we've had bad times with 2D. When we went to 2D, it didn't work. So we're staying with 3D.
The real world is definitely better in 3D than it is in 2D.
I think, I don't think anyone could disagree with that. I think that's a very good statement. Right, Miles, let's do this. Wow, Miles is about to look at my team. We're about to play some, Football Manager, and get QPR into the playoffs. Before that, we've got a super chat from Charlie Taylor. He just wants to say thank you, Miles, for such an incredible game. Hear.
You're welcome. It's not just me, though. It's a team effort, and I see the community, particularly those who do give us feature suggestions, as part of that team as well. So please do keep those suggestions coming in on our forum.
Lovely. Right. So let's do it. Let's do this. So you can see my team right now. We're on a 10-match unbeaten run, Miles. Life is good.
That's pretty good. I can just see the league table at the moment.
What would you like to... Should we go home? Would you like to go home? Let's go home.
Let's have a look at the squad.
Sure. So finances are a bit dodgy, but we're just concentrating on getting to the player final right now. That's what it's about. Throw money at it. It's fine. We've got a lot of loan signings here. But we've got some good loan signings. So do you want to have a look? Cast your eye. I can just be a hand here for you now.
Floyd Parrott, I presume, is doing well for you. He's very good signing. Oh, interesting. You're playing easy on the left. So what role are you playing?
That is amazing. You obviously are. You're clearly involved in this game, because that's been a big talking point that we were actually we were going through it before you came on the stream. Because Eze I gave this speech. I said, there's no doubt that they understand how good this kid is. I watch him every week. He's an absolute joy to watch. But I'm not sure if I'm getting his role right in the team. He has good games. He has bad games, though, for us as well, which disappoints me, because he's clearly our best player.
But in real life, is he the most consistent?
I think, do you know what, last season less so. This there is the odd game. We play Brentford away. Every time we play Brentford away, we get pumped. But I said to my dad, I said, this is the one. This is the one where if he's ready for the Premier League, we need him to turn it on, be the guy, and he went missing in that game. So there are the odd games. His consistency's definitely gone up, though. He's definitely got better. That's for sure.
Right. So look, he's suited to playing as an inside forward. He's getting you a lot of goals, so that's good. But what I find a bit odd here is you're playing a wing back, and I know that you've got the wing back as a team, but that's going to leave you quite exposed on the left, because he's going to be cutting inside, and then Justin's going to be quite far up. So,
are we not covered with our anchor man here in Cameron?
Yeah, possibly but he can't cover both wings at a time, and you've got someone playing as an attacking winger, then you've got an auto wing. But if you're not, the thing is, if it's working for you at the moment, I wouldn't be the person that would change something.
Well, the producer in me thinks it would be almost hilarious. I think I gave you full reins over the next game. We lost, and then in the chat, which I call the stands, we were hearing Jacobson out. I think that would be funny. I don't want it to happen. I'm on a 10-match unbeaten run. But
now you've got a player playing as Mazzara as well. I've never used that.
Really?
So yeah, it's that and on Gonch are the two roles that I've never used in the game.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get I tried in Gonch briefly, but I think there were other problems in there as well. I think the Mazzala role, I think, has generally worked for us. Jack Byrne, the problem we've got is Jack Byrne, who feels like he's a bit of a legend in this game. From the kind of when we were starting off the game, I was a bit of a newbie, and we were like, "Who should we buy?" And then in my chat, people were just going, "Jack Byrne, Jack Byrne, Jack Byrne." And so we got him in, and he has been very good. The problem I've got is I've got Asai Samuel, who's, got speed for days. Eze, we know, is a great player, and so I'm trying to fit him somewhere else. The killer for us, it happened in the first game of this stream, is Ryan Manning, who's been amazing for us. Yeah. He's got injured. He's out for 6 weeks. So before that, he was actually playing as a bit of either a Mazzala or a box-to-box midfielder, and now he's gone out.
Can I have a look at Mark Pugh?
You can. He's been a nice steady Eddie for us when we've needed him. Bit of experience there.
Can you open Mark up in full? I'd like to see what kind of job in the middle.
Of course. What are you seeing here? Talk to me.
What I'm seeing here is my Windows splash screen, because
I can read it free. I can read it free if you want.
Here we go. I've got it here now. Yeah, so he can't play in the central midfield role. It's a shame. Retraining him to be a central fielder might have worked well. Let's go back and see what other central midfielders you've got.
Sure. So we've got other options, really. The other one, Gilmore, who is a good, exciting player. I'll go full screen on him as well. Yeah. He can play the Mazzala role for us. He can play a DLP for us as well. He's very young, though, so it's kind of one of those ones I'll bring him in and bring him out.
He could also play as an advanced playmaker role, because you don't have a set playmaker in your role at the team at the moment, do you?
As a set playmaker, no. So could I have him in that central midfield 3 and still be an advanced playmaker?
You've got an anchor man and you've got a box midfielder. I would have him put him in the team. Let's see what role we can set for him.
The only worry I have with him is his stamina as well, because he's
but you've always got people to bring on in the last 60 minutes. So click on his role, please. Yeah, you can play him as an advanced playmaker.
Okay, so yeah, support.
I play him as support because you've got the
Okay, I quite like that. But yeah, I think the good thing I've got with the squad, I'm quite pleased. We've got a good mix of, we've got a decent squad depth, I would say.
Yeah, and with the anchor man there, he's going to pass it to box player, who will then hopefully pass it to Gilmore, who will then look for Amos running past him, who will then be playing it through to one of the two strikers, or giving it over to Mr. Samuel to cross the ball in for Troy's head.
I cannot wait for this to actually happen. You're going to just look like such a sensei.
I will feel so bad now if you lose your game.
But yeah, the Japanese certainly there. Let's move forward then. Let's get ourselves to a game. Good 2-0 win against Wayne Rooney's Derby County. Of course, they were renamed Wayne Rooney's Derby County when Wayne Rooney was signed. That was part of his contract, I think. I think that's actually in the game, is it not, Miles? Maybe not.
Is it not Wayne Rooney's Derby County sponsored by 32 Red?
Yeah,
Isn't that
possibly. When he first came in, it was insane. I think I saw his first game on Sky, and you know, normally they bring in the managers. They like when they're advertising the game, they bring in the managers, as in like as Derby County take on blah blah blah. And for their game, this is Philip Cocker, who's the manager of Derby, by the way. He's like a legend of the game, played in several World Cups and probably did a bit more than Wayne. I'm not trying to dig out Wayne, but they had Wayne Rooney there instead because it was going to be his first game. Unbelievable.
He's certainly good for the commercial side of things.
He certainly is.
But he's also done pretty well playing as a midfielder.
Do you know what he played? Is it possibly in what's the sort of the deepest lying Ngonch you could find? It was amazing. So I saw him. I'm a QPR fan, obviously, and went to QPR Derby at Loftus Road. And the game starts, and he trots up front, and you think, right, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And you know, I can't keep my eyes off him because I want to see if he's still got it. And he doesn't really run about, and then he just trotted back and picked up the ball off the centre backs. It's mad.
Yeah, he is playing that deep line playmaker role. And you know, he was never the fastest.
No, true.
But his vision is incredible. You know, for someone with a footballing brain like that it literally scans the pitch and looks like for the best pass. And it's weird because it's kind of how our match engine works. You know, the players make decisions every 1 second, and they're looking across the whole pitch and deciding what not necessarily what the best pass will make, but it looks at the percentage chances of the different passes based on the player's attributes. Wayne Rooney is basically doing that. He is the AI engine.
That's so true. Because that was the thing. I watched the game, and he's like, forgive me, Wayne, if you're watching, because you're not. He was like the greatest potato I've ever seen play football because his vision, his striking of the ball, and it's not like he sort of saw it and just went, and it's like a sand wedge, like going chunk on the ball, and it goes over the right back, who sort of jumps and desperately wants to get there, but he can't. His vision was still unparalleled.
Now you say that he's not watching, but you never know. He was. Early on in his career, he was a cover star of FIFA, and he did a press conference with Electronic Arts and was asked, you know, so what kind of computer games do you play? And he went, and this is before we'd moved to Football Manager. He went, well, I'm more of a Championship Manager player than anything else. And that didn't go down very well with the A's PR people.
Yeah, I'm sure you were fine with it, though. I'm sure you were very happy with that one.
The multiple phone calls from journalists going, you're never going to believe what...
Amazing. Sure. As a sort of casual, or sort of now becoming a hardcore as time moves on, are there any gems of Football Manager that I probably won't have seen on a surface level that I should really dig into because I would really enjoy them?
What do you mean, feature-wise, or? Yeah,
because I'll be honest, I don't think I've been enjoying this game here. I understand sort of the classic element of it, and I'm learning the tactics side of it. But you know, the sort of like a weird element of Football Manager is, I guess, initially it allowed you to kind of escape the world, and now you can play a game where you're part of the world playing that game. So
I think the most ignored area of the game that is really useful, but it is for advanced players because it's all about fine tuning, is what we call the chalkboard, which is the data analysis. The level of detail that goes into is utterly incredible, of the kind of things that you can see in there. And that is the number one way to going on, is looking at that data analysis section of the game. It's also really important to listen to your medical, because they will tell you if a player is more likely to get injured. There's also one thing that I've noticed here straight away that you're not doing, which do you still have an under-23 team?
Yes, I've got under-23s.
Yeah. The players who have no match sharpness at the moment, you should be playing those in your under-23s to build up their match sharpness. Because if you try and play any of those in the first team, that you aren't going to get good performances out of them. You've
Okay.
got people, all of them are in the reds. So
is it this? Is it until match fit?
You can do it until match fit, yeah, but it's going to take them a few weeks to get fit, and you won't get all of them playing every week because a bunch of them are over 24. But it's just something to be really mindful of is keep all your players as fit as you possibly can.
Okay.
Because if you had another injury here and you had to bring Mark Pugh back in, he's not going to be performing well for a few games, and he's going to get knackered really quickly as well.
Okay, let's run through that real quick then until match fit. There's going to be a cut once we get promoted, though. Miles, there's going to a lot of these guys are going to be out the door.
Something else. Go to the squad screen. Go to the squad screen a sec.
Yeah,
I'll make this easier for you.
Go on.
Find the players there. So increase condition bit.
Sorry.
So increase the size of your condition column. So
right, got you.
See the sharpness as well. It must need to be. There you go. So those players who are unsharp, if you click one of them.
Yeah, is that the shift? I can do the shift on that.
Yeah, hold down shift, and you can do them all at the same time.
Okay. Oh, this is it.
Just go to Rangel now. So you could have just gone to Rangel and it would have row selected all of them. Then right click.
It's all right. It's okay. We're okay. I remember this because I've given him a rest as well.
And then right click. Squad available for under 23s, and it will do them all at the same time.
Thank you very much, Miles. Until match fit. Okay. Done. Right. Oh, I nearly submitted my team there. We don't want to do that. Right. Let's go to tactics. So yeah, this is the situation we're in. It's a 10 game unbeaten run, Miles. I'm handing over the reins to you.
Right. One more change to make.
Okay.
Is with Justin.
Yep.
So your left back, can you change his role?
Yes.
Because I don't think he's best suited to wing back anyway.
Right.
Oh, okay. Change him to fullback.
Mm-hmm.
Automatic.
Okay. So okay. Brave,
just
Miles. You made him yellow.
A little bit more
thing. You're trying to get yellow in my team.
He was yellow before.
Was he? Oh, we'll soon find out. Here we go. So in possession, that's our situation, which has generally been working. Happy with that?
If your tactics been working, don't change it more than those little roll tweaks that I need.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Go for it.
Right.
We can look at it again at half time.
Love it. Okay, we are submitting. Click the like button. Gives us good luck. Everyone knows that. And oh god, I've got been concentrating far too much on the game that I've not even shown the people. There you go, guys. It's there. We're about to play a game, guys, but you guys have been here for hours on end, so you know exactly what's going on when it comes to this team. This is a situation we're in. We'll go to the dressing room. Miles, what would you like to say to the lads?
Oh, I'm playing as your assistant. So where are Birmingham in the table?
Birmingham. Can I click on them? Can I click on them? Will that work? How do I see that?
Sorry. Look, we just need to win anyway, right? So team talk.
You're a calm man. What's your sort of go-to?
I'm either calm or passionate. What have you mainly?
We're very similar. Very similar. I'm a calm and passionate guy as well, unless I'm angry when I get aggressive.
So I would calmly say to them, we could move into a playoff place with a win here. So go out there and impress them. And I love the fact that team talk is contextual, because that means that Riz and Dave, who work on the done a great job.
And is that all? Because so different Football Manager guys that I've had on the stream, some have liked me to sort of have a quick word, a passionate word with the defence and the midfield. Others do different.
I never do that before the game because I've dealt with that in the team meeting already. I do that at half time or full time if people are pulling their weight.
Okay, nice. Right, let's kick off. Here we go. That's and I've got to say, Mark, every time when they come out, I love it. I just love it so much. So I put the graphics down a little bit, so hopefully the lag will go away. Come on, the lads. But pump it up. The R's are going up, and we're off. Let's do this.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Twisted knee.
He's playing through it at the moment. Let's see how he is.
Okay.
For a bit.
So the one shout that seems to work wonders with these lot is they love us getting creative. Oh, here we go. Oh, that is a bit smoother. Justin with the ball. Crosses in! And that's what happens when you get the main man. MJ in the building. 1 goal, 17 minutes gone. Troy Parrott doing the business.
Unbeknownst to you, Troy Parrott actually played for Watford for a number of seasons between 2025 and 2028.
I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final for Watford.
Right. Okay, so you've got history. Oops, says the chat. Of course they did, because we're 1-0 up. Come on, lads.
He had his personal coach as well of Troy Deeney.
Great shout.
I had to persuade Troy to actually retire to become an attacking coach at Watford.
Which you had a quiet word with him, did you? I think it's time to call it a day.
I sent him a WhatsApp message. And he was
How did he react?
I think it was something along the lines of, "What the fuck are you talking about?" By the way, that didn't actually happen. I made that.
Oh, okay. Right.
I didn't send a message to Troy. I am lucky enough to know Mr. Deeney personally, but we don't tend to talk about him inside my Football Manager career.
The lines are very blurred. This is something you've created in all of our worlds. It's very, 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 very blurred.
Last weekend, I actually was imagining the Watford Southampton game in my head and sending messages to Watford's chief executive to say how well Troy struck the penalty after the foul by James Ward-Prowse in the box. And yeah.
Oh yes, the magic wand.
I should do this for a living, shouldn't I?
This should be revolve around your general working day, I would say. Well, actually, for many people, it does revolve around their working day, often in office toilets, I would say.
Or their non-working day at the moment, or their furloughed day at the moment.
Indeed, yeah. I think that's in an office. That's always why it's so crucial to have the computer screen that's against the wall, so that you can play Football Manager at work.
It's the people who are asking me, is it possible to play FM without OneDrive recognizing? Boo! Without OneDrive recognizing playing it, and they're really asking the wrong person that, because
yeah.
I make computer games. I don't work in IT.
That's amazing. That's such a unique situation that you have, where someone can come up to your desk, you're playing Football Manager, and you can turn to them and go, Can you honestly, I am swamped right now. Can you just go away? And that's absolutely legitimate. You're a lucky man, Miles. But
not just that, I get to do it at home as well. So if my partner turns to me and goes, "You're playing that game a hell of a lot of them," I'm like, yeah, it's work, darling.
Yeah.
And what do you think paid for dinner tonight? And that works quite well. There aren't many people who get to say that.
I'm able to kind of I'm hanging on those coattails as well a little bit. I'm going to Mrs. So on YouTube in the live chat you have a thing called Super Chat, where people pay a little bit of money and you'll make sure you read out because they're being very kind to give you a touch of money. And I'm saying to her, look, we need the Super Chats right now. I'm going to have to play this game for 2 hours every other day. Sorry, love. We're at half time.
My Animal Crossing play doesn't go down as well at the moment. I am spending far too much time playing Animal Crossing. But you need to boot it twice a day because you need to know what the turnip prices are in the morning and the afternoon. And that probably means absolutely nothing to you, but for those who play Animal Crossing, they know.
I've heard of this turnip thing. I've heard of this. Team talk time. Miles, what would you like to say to the lads? A good half. Solid half.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be saying what John Eustace is suggesting there.
Miles, John Eustace is a slippery snake. We can't get him out of the door just yet.
Okay, so John used to be Watford's captain at the time that we were Watford's shirt sponsor. So he is someone that I know. And we were playing a game at Watford's ground because we play a game there once a season because we're really, really lucky. And we were playing there a few years ago, and I got injured in the first few minutes, which is the story of my life. I'm injury prone 30. And so I went off, and oddly, Gianfranco Zola, who was watching us play football, stuck his hand up and said, "Can I come on, please?" So I was substituted. Gianfranco Zola played left back, and John Eustace ended up being the physio, and I'd hurt my back. And it was like, well, have you any idea what's going on here, John? And you go, yeah, you've done exactly the same as me, mate. You're fucked. And okay, so he's actually a nice guy, and I think he's going to be a manager in the future.
Oh yeah, he's done well. Well, he kept his job. McLaren, he came in with McLaren, and then he was able to keep his job with Warburton, which is probably a good sign.
Yeah, let's go to team talk then. And I would use the "don't get complacent" line because we've just let in a goal just before half time,
right?
And hopefully they won't get too offended. Right, so Troy Parrott's not. You go and have a word with Troy, and you go, mate, you've played well.
Okay, are you saying that in a passionate way? Calm way?
I think I would personally be. My computer keeps. See, it keeps going to screensaver. It's so used to me typing frantically for the whole game. I would be calmly saying to him that I'm very happy with his performance, which we probably should have done before the overall team talk. But the user interface here is a little bit confusing, and that's definitely something we have to work on in the future.
Okay. So I've got calm. Where is it? I'm very
happy with your performance.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. He seems so. All right. He's more motivated. That's important.
Yeah,
he's still confused. He's still confused. He's more motivated. Can I just say, like, one of our favorite things in the stream that we found, a few people saying it in the chat right now, is I love so much the passionate. I've got nothing specific to say right now. I love it. I haven't found the right time for it yet, but when it comes, I can't wait.
As I said before, the user interface here is a little bit confusing, and it's something.
Never change it. Never change it. I love it. It's amazing. Right, let's keep this run going. So, Samuel, Todd Kane's got the pace to beat him. Go on. I know he's come back inside. Gilmore.
Again, that comes down to it. That's something that you love, and that's something that I see as a bug.
Okay. I did feel slightly nervous bringing it. Oh, we got a penalty. It's Troy Parrott. Oh, he was so confused. He didn't know which way to shoot.
Absolute muppet, Troy.
Oh, dear.
I do still get quite excited about the game, by the way, when I'm watching. But I don't normally get as excited on other people's games. But I think my honour is probably on the line.
I would suggest that it is. I've got to be honest. Eze's still playing here, despite his twisted knee. When do you look to make your substitutions, or is it game by game?
I look around 60 minutes, but when they're going below 70% is when I normally look at it. But Eze's so important, but he's not having a good game, so I would probably to hook him now.
Right, let's make that hook. So Eze, do you want options include Mark Pugh is an option, Ilias Chair is an option, Jack Byrne is an option.
Well, I mean, you know your players better than I do.
Okay, let's give Mark a bit of time out there. Very intelligent player, and he likes that role as well. So I'm happy to put him there.
Fair enough.
Any other changes you want to make there? Or are you happy?
No one else is really that tired at the moment, and everyone apart from Eze is doing all right rating wise. So I kind of leave it.
Okay. Cameron's the only other one, 6.6, which isn't too bad. At the start of the season, I would have snapped your hand off for a 6.6.
Billy's done pretty well in his new role.
He has, He's looking good, 6.9. And actually, do you know what? His fitness seems a lot better than it has done previously. Maybe he's getting a little bit stronger. Okay, come on, guys, keep it going. Got 6 points out of 6 so far. It would be very, very nice to have 9 out of 9.
So I would now be taking Samuel off because he's been booked and he's gone below 70%.
Okay. So Samuel. So he is a straight swap for Jackie Byrne.
There we go.
Easy peasy. And we can save one final sub in case we need it. Probably won't, though. Will you tweak the team instructions as you're getting close to the end of the game?
I have been known to. I've also been known to go very, very defensive, but I think we've missed.
No, what's happened? Oh no!
Missed the chance of doing that. Throws things across the room. Right, go all out. Literally, just stop this balance malarkey. Go all out attack for the last few minutes.
Hang on, cancel
All
that.
or nothing.
We go very attacking the thing we didn't want. Let's hope. Surely not. Surely we're not going to lose with the main man.
I don't think we've got time. Well, we're still going to be unbeaten.
Okay. Any team instructions do you want to tweak any of them?
No. I would be shouting at them.
Okay, we'll shout as well. We can shout as well. What would you like?
Show some passion.
He's angry. He's not happy.
I'm angry.
Right, we'll probably have to see a replay of that. It's fine. No, we don't even want to see it. Let's carry on. Right, come on, lads. From kickoff. Surely not from kickoff. Masterson with the ball. Plays it through the lines to Jack Byrne, the substitute. He's on. He's got a lot of assists this season. He's not done much there. Are we going to get done again? Surely not. Amos with the ball. To Pew. Justin. Cameron in that anchor role. Gives it to Gilmore. He looked better today. There's a great little ball to Todd Kane. He gets the cross in. Oh! Just up. Oh, that would have been poetic if we'd have got it back. Gone all out. Get your match reactions in the chat. We'll read them out. See how Miles feels about him. There could be some tough press on its way, Miles. I'll warn you now.
You're still seventh. It's looking all right.
Okay, we're fine. We're still unbeaten. That's good. 2-2. What a
I'm
shame.
so sorry.
Hey, no, do not apologise. You've given me this game. There's no apologies from you. We'll go to the chat in just a second. What do you want to say to the guys? Eustace isn't happy.
What I want to say to them is probably different to what we should say.
You're going to try and stay professional here.
I'd probably be doing an unlucky boys.
Okay. Good PR. They seem motivated. Not too bad. Listen, Keeley, we're all right. Okay. The unbeaten run continues. It could have been worse. Let's see what the people have got to say for themselves. Charlie Taylor says, Jacobson out.
Yeah, I agree.
Joe Dodomo, this is heartbreaking. God damn it, says Manet. It's a shambles. Charlie going really big. Unfair, I feel. We got a draw there. Denied by a late goal, says David Newell, press officer. 12 unbeaten, though. Let's remember that.
At least it proves that there really are no cheats in the game.
Parrot, jaded.
And could do with a rest.
Next game's in 7 days. How long a rest would you suggest?
I would be starting him. I wouldn't be saying anything. I would just be putting him on the bench for the next game.
Right. We've got Hugo available as a pressing forward, so we're okay there. Without disrespecting your game here, Miles, I would like to play more games with you. So I will rush through some of the mail. Please forgive me.
That's fine. Whilst you're rushing through this little bit, can you bear with me for 1 second? Because I've been hit by this this strange illness at the moment that I only get when I'm playing FM, which is drinking too much fluid and really needing a wee.
So that can happen.
So how unprofessional is that on live stream?
No, you're staying hydrated, Miles. It's fine.
I will be back very shortly. Excuse me.
Right, guys, how amazing is this? Miles Jacobson on the stream. If that's not enough to get a like out of you lot and subscribe to the channel, then I don't know what we'll do. This is going to be the last stream of the week. 669 of you watching, only 336 likes. For all of you that have hit the like button, thank you. For those that haven't, come on. I've got Miles Jacobson on the stream with 12 games unbeaten. What have I got to do here? That's the last I'll say of it. February award goes to Bowen Sai Samuel, showing progress. Life is good. It's all coming together. Something's happening here, guys. I'm going to have a look at the chat now. Ben Pryor, don't you know, pump it up. The R's are going up. Correct. We need to get in the playoffs, though. We're not in there yet. I think we'll play one more game with Miles, and then we might have to call it a day, guys. I hope you're enjoying it so far. This is amazing. This is so cool. Mega Sting, I will ask your super chat in just a second. Brian, Miles has rage quit. Loki dokie. I don't think so. He's just having a wee. It's amazing, the passion for the game. We'll keep going here, guys. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it, guys? Sorry. Brian Cook, you got my like and subscribe. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. We're enjoying it a lot. I've got a new Twitch profile, actually. I don't know that much about Twitch, but I'm going to be moving over there pretty soon, maybe at the end of this season. So, yeah. Made you draw the game and then left, says Eminem 2113. I wouldn't say that. He's trying to move us forward with a new dynamic. Squad dynamic, excellent. Managerial support. Dressing room atmosphere, excellent. Life's good. Got Preston next. Good at crossing. So what? We're good at everything. Yeah, thoughts on the game so far? Any areas where we can improve? Maybe it's in the tactical side of it. I just love playing the games, though. There's nothing like it. Lone Roundup, Himalayan. Tried to get you back, mate. We tried to get you back, but you didn't want to come back. Completes his coaching badge. Smart move, mate, because you're not getting another contract here. I'll tell you that now. Jack Byrne has to play next game. Morgan Blackwell, do you honestly think you could go up? Of course I do. Guys, of course I do. Something's going on here, guys. How can you say anything different? Look. Fifth, look, we're joint sixth. We are about next game. We're going to finish. Miles is taking us to the promised land of the playoffs. It's going to be fine. Automatics. You never know. We've got 10 games. 10 games left now. 10 games left. Oh, dear me. Miles is back. Welcome back, Miles. So I think one more game.
Go on then.
Megasting has given us a super chat and he says, will there be any more console versions of FM? I don't know if I asked you this earlier. Maybe I didn't, but we've had that question a lot.
We've obviously we're on Stadia, and Stadia is now also it's free for a couple of months. And if you buy the game on Stadia, you then don't have to subscribe to Stadia Pro to still be able to play it. We're on Switch. There are obviously new consoles due to come out, although again none of us know when. So we always look at consoles and make the decision based on whether we think it's the right thing to do creatively, whether we think we can experience, and whether it's going to be profitable. And with both Switch and Stadia, they were the right platforms for that. With PS5 and Xbox Series X, we haven't decided yet. Is the honest answer. We will look at them, we will talk to them, and see whether it's something that we think can be done. But one of the problems that we have, and one of the reasons why Stadia and Switch were both yeses when other platforms have been no in the past, is as anyone who plays the game knows, spend a lot of time playing it. And in most households, people have a telly in the living room and they don't have TVs in their bedrooms, and because they use iPads now for watching streams. And Football Manager on a console being played on TV takes over the living room TV too much. So people don't get to watch the shows that they want to watch because someone's sitting there playing FM. So Switch worked really well because it can be played on TV, or be played on the handheld device itself. And Stadia works really well because it can be played on devices. So you can be sitting there playing on a Chromebook and sometimes put it on the telly, sometimes have it on the Chrome. That hasn't really been a possibility of the other consoles. So when we did previous console games on Xbox and Xbox 360, we found, and the user studies that we did afterwards kind of showed us that people didn't like the fact, or people were getting into trouble at home because someone wanted to watch X Factor and they were in the middle of a game, and the two things don't quite work that well together.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think many people would. That's why it's worth answering that question, which is great, because I don't think people would ever have thought that is the reason why it's a bit of a stumbling block. One comment that just made me laugh there. Adam Jessup, hashtag Miles out for a slash.
Miles was out for a slash. I apologise. I'm an old man. I can't hold it in like I used to.
This is my channel, and I probably 9 streams out of 10, I will go for a wee myself and get the other person to film. So it's fine.
I also know that I've coughed a couple of times and I've just blown my nose as well. I've just got a normal cold.
He's fine.
It's nothing unusual for me, and I've got some super strong vitamins that I'm taking to try and get better.
Good. That's good to hear. Okay. After speaking with Jeff Cameron, I believe that he's no longer concerned about his playing time. That's because
there we go. I fixed an unhappy player for you without even knowing it. Just magically.
Preston away. Tough game. Do you know the phrase that every team that isn't a Preston fan, or every person that isn't a Preston fan, their analysis of Preston is they're masters of the dark arts, is the phrase that keeps going up with Preston. Which I'm not sure is totally fair. I think they've got a player in Ben Pearson who I would love to see at QPR, but he's one of those players who other fans don't generally like that much, but I think he's quality.
Mr. Eustace was very similar.
Very true. Very true. That's it. And so, Cameron's doing a job for us.
I know it's your stream and not mine, but if it's okay with you, let's play this match, see what happens in this match. And then I'd love to do another 10 minutes of questions from people who are watching, if that's okay.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, if you're happy to stick around, that's great. Yeah,
I'm happy to stick around to get some more questions in. So
amazing. Okay.
The questions so far have been very respectful and very good, which is always a good thing. So
that's good.
Yeah. Let's
right, guys. So with that in mind, actually, what I'll say to you all is, with the chat, don't ask your question just yet because I'll lose them in the chat. Just save them. We'll focus on this game, and then when I give you the signal, that's the time to do it. Okay, right. Let's get ourselves in the places properly now. So do you want to keep with what we've got?
I don't get this with Troy because we've just been told that he's jaded and needs a rest, but he's 100% sharpness there.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. High risk of injury.
Okay. So high risk of injury okay. Fine, that makes sense then, and you should really listen to scientists.
Okay. So do we make a swap?
Do you have someone else?
We've got Hugel. We've got Jordan Hugel, good striker, pressing forward.
Do you have someone else who thinks going to score goals? Sorry. Hopefully he's not watching.
Yeah, that has been his problem. The goal ratio has not been up to there. But nice.
Why don't you start with Hugel?
Okay.
And then at least we know we can bring Troy on if we need to.
Okay. He loves the old pressing forward sitch.
Okay.
It stops that issue just behind him as well, which is good.
And you've got someone there who should not be starting because he's on 82% fitness.
Where are we? 83. Abire. Wow.
Our star player.
Oh no, that is interesting.
That would have been because of the knock he got in the last.
Oh, of course, the knee. Yeah. So we've got options here. Jack Byrne has played in that position, played well. Mark Pugh is an option.
Given Jack has match sharpness, I would be using him there to start. Sure.
Fine. Are you happy with his role? Would you like to tweak his role at all?
I've just been given the Pringles back, everyone.
Hey! Get in there. We were on a podcast I do. We were ranking crisps, and that was in Pringles was obviously in the elite tier.
So Pringles are always in the elite tier, but these ones are very special. If any of your viewers are in Canada, I believe you can get them in the US. But screaming dill pickle cucumber flavored Pringles.
Screaming dill.
And so they're basically they're pickled cucumber flavored, and they do taste exactly like they. Oh, thank you for that. Sorry, just commentary going on behind me.
Text commentary only, please.
They're delicious, and luckily one of our sister studios, Relic, happened to be based in Vancouver, so I get supplies when I visit and can always get shipped over. Very, very good. I wish they did Worcester sauce flavoured Pringles, though. Those would be...
That is a shout. Oh, yeah, that would be really nice.
You have far more influence than I do when it comes to that. So I did try and get MasterChef yesterday to do a new version of MasterChef.
I
for
saw that.
MasterChef.
Oh my god, I saw that. And actually, that was going to be. I was going to send this. I was going to send this to you. I could probably do it on Discord. Actually,
Okay.
I made. You inspired me not only in the game, but you inspired me to have a toasty today. Actually,
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if I can send you. I can show you the picture.
Unfortunately for me, I managed to break my toasted sandwich maker whilst making a sandwich because I put in far too much filling. But I do have another one on the way, so I will be back to toasted sandwiches again next week.
I forgot how underrated they were. So easy to make. I went with the tuna melt myself, but it was a dream.
Tuna melt is a right result. It's a very good toasted sandwich to make.
Right, let's play this game then. So Jack Byrne, I don't know if you want to tweak his role in any way, shape, or form, or if you're happy with him there.
I think you should keep the tactic as is, and I think I need to listen to you more to be making changes for the last 20 minutes.
Okay. Do you want one change I will make? Grant Hall is our captain, and I'd like to get him back into centre midfield, but I would like to have a centre back available on the bench. So Ilias Chair will have to make way, I'm afraid. But otherwise, I'm happy. Should we do it?
That's fine.
Let's do it. Oh, lacking much sharpness. That's why he's playing. So let's do it. Right, guys. Possibly last game of the. Well, that is last game stream. We're going to do questions after this. So hit that like button. We'll go to the dressing room. What would you like to say to the boys?
Come on, you R's.
Come on, the R's.
Super hoops and all that.
Indeed.
I'd go with the same about the playoff place.
Okay, you could move into a playoff place. I'm expecting nothing less. Let's do it.
There you go. I like that.
Okay, they've listened keenly. They seem deep in thought. That'll do for me. Right, we kick off. Out they come. Oh, I do love it. I do love it. Come on now. I want to be in the playoffs, please. We've been flirting with it for We are in the playoffs. Oh my god. I had no idea. We're sixth. Get in there. We've done it already. Well done, Miles.
Huddersfield must have lost then.
Get in there. It must have been a goal different thing. Happy days.
Can you just scroll down in there? Because Huddersfield must have lost the game.
Huddersfield 56. Yeah.
And they
should have checked. So that draw, it was a good point.
It's because Huddersfield haven't played yet. Huddersfield.
Oh, there you go.
TV.
Right, so we're into the highlights. Get in there, just over the line. Come on, you R's. Who was that? Jeff Cameron. Way to go.
And Jack Byrne got the assist, so well done on that, Shaq Gaffer.
He's no problem. Assistant manager. What? How? Yes, that's happening. Go on, get the crossing. Ooh, Byrne causing havoc. Come on, you R's. Come on, the lads. Can I say the word? Automatic? Anyone? Fancy it? Got to dream big in this.
Don't get too carried away.
Something's happening here. Something is happening.
It's only. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I've just seen the gap between you and West Brom, and I do think a 17 is that 17-point gap. Is maybe a little bit too much to make up in 10 games, 9 games.
That's not the attitude I'm after, Miles.
Just be happy with the playoffs.
Yes, okay, fair enough. I hear what you're saying.
It's so satisfying going up through the playoffs. Because if you didn't know, the playoffs is the biggest cash prize in football.
Of course I did. I remember that. Zamora! I'll never forget that. I waited 20 years for that. Oh, what a day. That's why the parallels between this game and go on, Bright.
Come on. Oh.
The parallels with this game and real life is all, the fact is you're looking to see a ball cross a line and the joy is the joy. There's no difference. I'm still going to lose my shit if we go up with the players, I'm telling you.
So we're doing 62% possession away from home is
solid.
Pretty damn impressive.
Very good.
But we've lost a bit of possession on the left side of the pitch in the final third. So that's basically telling you that Jack is losing possession a little bit.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. And what is it, when it comes to analysis, actually, let me pick your brains with that. Is that where do you like to look? Zealand we had on before, the big FM player. He likes these heat maps. It just kind of gives you a general idea of, where the ball is for most of the game. which is
The
generally
heat
like
maps. The heat maps are a work of beauty, and if
Mm.
we could sell them as art, we would. Just the different blues and greens that work well together. You know, it's wonderful stuff, and you can learn a lot. So learn a lot from getting the actual advice. So you're being told there you should close Scott Sinclair down. There's no reason to not do that, and you've already instructed them to make the changes. So you've been following all of that advice anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you know, you can see from the heat map there that you're doing well on the right hand side, moving forward, and on the left hand side, you're not. You know, you're basically losing the to the box, but you are playing as an inside forward, and you can see that with the map. But you knew that he wasn't going to be as strong as your first choice, and we can always bring on Pew for the last half to shore things up a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess you've got that winger on the attacking side. It's almost like it can be a bit of a 4-4-2 on an angle a little bit because you've got him coming inside as Samuel on the overlap. Dressing room.
Look how busy their keeper's been as well. Well, don't go back to it. It's fine. But
it's fine. There we go. A quick look at it. Let's do your team talk then. What would you like to say to the boys? Everyone looking good. James Justin, not having the best of it. Is that because actually there's a few 6.6s, but generally away from home we're dominating. Jeff Cameron got the goal.
I think the overall team talk should be that you're pretty happy.
Yeah. I'm happy with the performance. So calmly? Would you like to say that calmly?
Calmly, yeah.
They're delighted with that.
And then maybe if Mr. Justin, he's done all right, hasn't he? They're all doing all right. Just you can't really get better. So let's just leave it rather than mucking it all up.
Okay.
Be silly.
Right, second half. Come on, let's keep it going. I love to. This is a tough away day at Preston. Lovely to get a victory here. Come on, the lads. Maybe a bit more game management. I should have probably stepped in a bit earlier there because there's only so much you can do from over there. I am holding the mouse, so I've got to step up as well.
Now, Mr. Byrne is looking a little bit complacent, and we've been told he's losing the ball, so I would be hooking him at the moment.
Tipped over the bar there. Corners have been a problem from the start. Let's just get through this. No! Again with the corners. Why with the corners? Oh.
Sub gaffer.
Sub. He wants a sub. That's fine. One thing, just in case, because Jack Bowman's good. Say Samuel can play on that left-hand side. I'm just saying. So you could just swap.
Okay. And can Byrne play on the right hand?
He'd rather play on that.
Fine.
side.
Let's do that then.
Okay. So give that 58 minutes. We can give that 5-10 minutes. See how we go. Okay. Confirm changes. I've gone against Miles Jacobson. Dangerous, but we'll see. Here we go.
It still says that we're in the playoffs there because it's dated down.
Okay. We're at Huddersfield, still on the 36. Come on, the lads. Let's get the winner.
Oh, no, actually, it won't. 57 still fine because we're losing. So we're still in the playoffs.
Yeah. 70.
Destroyed badly.
Come on, lads. I mean, we're balanced as well. We can always tweak that as well. 75. You want to make a change?
Go a little bit more. So be positive rather than balanced.
Okay. And would you like to make any substitutions?
So look, Mr. Byrne has so far been complacent.
Yeah.
He was then composed. He was then anxious, and now he's composed again. And you've also got someone on 6.4 there.
6.4. That is Bright. Yes.
I would be bringing on. I'd be bringing on. You pronounce him better than me. Is it Eze or
Abire Eze? Yeah.
So I'd be bringing on Eze, and I would bring on Mr. Pugh, and I would bring on Mr. Parrott, all at the same time.
It's gone big. Okay. So Eze is 83, but he had that little knock, but I think he's fine generally. So where do you want to put it? So what? Okay, I'll put it where we can put it, and then you can change it if you want to. I'll put. So let's put him on the left. Pew can do both, but I think Eze prefers to be on that left-hand side. So Samuel, sorry, where is he? Jack Burnt. So Pew can be on that side. He can be, if we want to, oh no, he can be attack or support. So that's something you can make the call there.
I think he's fine as is. Or actually, change Pew to support.
Okay.
And Eze to attack.
Okay.
Because Eze's been getting you the goals.
Okay. And Troy Parrott on for Hugo. Bang, bang, bang. Complete forward.
Let's go for it. They're only going to score if they get another goal.
So advanced forward or complete forward? A lot of people saying good things about advanced forward when it comes to...
I often play complete forward, but only if I'm a player who's got 100% there, which he does have. So attack, complete forward. Let's just go for it.
Come on there, lads. Do you want to give them a team talk, or you're not bothered?
No, just go for it.
Just go for it.
They know what they need to do,
okay.
Which is not concede another goal. He says, as we've just changed the forward line.
We've gone positive. Come on. I'll tell you, I'm going to give a shout that works for us a lot of the time. Get creative. They seem to like that. They always seem to like that. Come on. Give me a highlight. Give me a highlight.
Still in the playoffs. Still in the playoffs. Still in the playoffs. It's all good.
Come on.
It's all good.
Come on. Give me something. It's not the worst point. I'd love a goal. Nah, not to be. Not to be.
I'm so sorry. I kept the unbeaten.
You did. We're fine.
Couldn't get the 3 points. You would have probably done better without me. Let's be frank.
I would never say that to your face.
Yeah.
Right.
Just wait until I've logged off, and then you can say it then.
Final team talk to the lads. You want to say unlucky? I'm disappointed. You can say whatever you like. It's your final message to my team. Sorry?
I've just lost my job because of that result.
Jacobson out.
I'm disappointed. We needed a win here to take the chance to move into a playoff place, even though we did. Who got lost confidence?
Hugo can do one.
Right, yeah, exactly. The others all look fired up.
Yeah. Oh, you go salt then, Jordan. We'll continue. Okay, let's practice safe Football Manager by hitting the save button. And so now is the time. Get your questions in. We'll do, what are we on? 35. We'll stop at 6:45. And Miles, thank you so much for sharing so much time already.
No problem at all.
We'll ask them.
I will be cooking dinner, and I don't know what I'm cooking tonight.
Toasty? It's a bit late for a toasty. That's a lunchtime thing. That's a lunchtime.
Toasties are always a lunchtime.
I couldn't agree more. Right, so now's the time. Get your questions in. This might be the last chance you ever get to ask Miles Jacobson a question. So now is the time. Loki Doki.
Oh, Christ. Can I just say, right, thank you so much. He is so generous as a human being. He got me a brilliant pair of socks once, a fantastic Bullseye t-shirt that I wear regularly. So yeah, if people didn't know that about a generous human being.
So I feel like, and a few people were saying we should bring in Loki Doki. So I'm happy to do that. He's got a good recommendation. He's made the right stuff, I hear. So is he assistant manager material?
I think he's definitely a good person to bring. He's a nice guy.
So he's got a question. The toasted sandwich was top quality up until the wasabi mayo. Doesn't it destroy all the other... Wait, Miles, I know you're passionate. I know you're passionate. You're going to have to hear the whole question before you answer it. Right, up until the wasabi mayo, doesn't it destroy all the other flavours? Also, I'm disappointed by the working from home beard. Oh, well, he was very generous there with his feedback.
Well, the working from home beards, I don't normally shave them. And so my beard is normally a lot longer than this. But I found, because I have been going out for walks, and I've been going for walks to the little local shops where I live, because trying to support local businesses. And one of the little snippets that I read somewhere is that it can get caught up in the beard when you're out and about. So basically, when I'm going outside, I'm having a shave.
Right.
When I'm going out,
it's purely health and safety.
Yeah, so I last went to the shops on Tuesday. So this is how much. No, Monday actually. So this is how much it's grown since.
Okay. And
It
yeah,
runs-
just
it
very,
runs
I
quite
guess
fun.
very briefly, because I would imagine there are more pressing questions. I'm not trying to disrespect Loki Doki at all, but
A
the
little, a
wasabi
little
mayo,
bit.
was it overpowering?
No, it's not. If I was using pure wasabi, then yeah. But wasabi mayo is fine, and Levi Roots reggae mayo is also a personal favourite for putting in there. I like a bit of spice in my food. I think things were a bit bland without it.
Okay, good to know. Super chat from West Ham Fan TV, my boy Nicky probably. He says, "Love you, Jim. I love you too. Can you tell me how to get the best out of Jordan Hugel? Probably not, but I'll ask the question all the same. MG, how is Miles getting on with his current FM save?
So I'm Watford, as I normally am. I think I mentioned it earlier that I've won the Champions. I have just won the Premier League as well, but I'm playing it a lot less at the moment than other people because I'm spending so much time working on the next game, trying to get the featured set for that sorted so that everyone can be doing their work on the coding side of things. So yeah, I haven't actually played this week. So I'll probably have a bit of a play over the weekend because I'm doing a lot of feature work over the weekends and I'll be checking in the game with some of the feature suggestions. But yeah, I'm not playing as much as everyone else currently. I'm not as much as I was at launch.
Okay, I'm just going to end, just because you've frozen for a second, I'm going to end the video call and call you straight back,
Okay,
just so
fine.
we get you back. Here we go. That should hopefully do it. There's me. Different camera.
How are you?
Here he comes. Ooh.
There's the screen. Where have I gone?
I think you're hopefully coming back soon. Don't know if it's
You
your,
can
are
still-
you all right
you can
battery
still-
wise?
Yeah, but you can still hear me okay,
Yeah,
right?
I can still hear you. Don't worry then.
I think one of the problems is, and I know far too much about this stuff at the moment, the amount of broadband that is being used during the day is higher than anyone's ever seen, and around 6:30 to 10 o'clock is really, really bad.
Oh,
And I am on wireless here, so it's probably my internet provider just throttling me a bit.
okay,
Going,
no
you've
worries.
been on video call all day. But yeah, so you can still hear my voice. And let's be honest, no one's really losing anything by seeing me.
They've seen the bid. They've seen the bid, which is what they came for. Really.
I'm not that much to look at. So
Hey, nonsense. Right, so a couple of here's a question I've had twice. James Phillips, I don't know what this means, but you obviously will. Any news on East Side Hockey Manager?
I was asked this on Twitter today as well. The East Side Hockey Manager is Riz, who is the director of Eastside. He works on Football Manager for 3 weeks of the month, and he works on Eastside for a week of the month. So there is still work ongoing. And when he's got some new things that he wants to share, he will roll those out into the build. So for those who don't know, it's an ice hockey game that we also make, and Risto straddles both games basically. He's a genius, is our Risto. So we have him working on both.
Okay. Neil Barkley, this is a good question. Is there a feature you'd love to include, but the lawyers just won't have it?
So many of them, it's unreal. So yeah, when I talk about league, I know it's as good as a meme now with people going, oh Christ, not that again. It is all genuine. I spend a lot of time talking to lawyers. But yeah, I can't go into what any of them because we could even be sued just for having the ideas with some of them. But yeah, there's loads of things that we'd love to do that the lawyers say no to, and I understand why. It's nothing against the lawyers. There are a lot of litigious people out there, and yeah, there's always things like that going on in the background that we try for no one to know about because a lot of it's stupid, but it does take up far too much of our time.
Okay, Joe Dodomo, who has been an absolute legend when it comes to streams. Thank you, mate, for all your help. Miles, any thoughts on bringing in Sheffield United's overlapping centre backs next year?
It's certainly a suggestion that's been made on our forums, and it is something that is considered. It's a time need balance depending on what other stuff the match team are working on. So I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but it is something that it's certainly something that's in our database that we will be doing at some point.
Okay. West Ham Fan TV answering my question about Jordan Hugel. Send him back. Thanks. Here's a good one. Flynn 98, I think. FM eSports, will it ever happen?
Well, fantasy draft mode was meant to be our esports mode, but fantasy draft mode was esports as designed by someone in their late 40s who doesn't really do much esports, which is me. So there are various tournaments that are going on. I don't believe that any game designer can ever turn around and say, hey, I'm making an esport, because it's down to the people that are watching the game to decide whether it's an esport or not. So we are always looking for online modes, and we would love for there to be more people playing the game competitively. We haven't delivered on that as yet as well as we can, but it's also not the number one priority, because the online play on the game is pretty small. It's less than people who play in 2D. So we do have limited resources. We have to concentrate on areas that are going to make everyone happy. But it's still a watch this space thing, because at some point we'll get online right. I don't think we have as yet.
Okay. Final few then. Jonathan Johansson, probably ex-Charlton, wasn't he? For Miles, which team should I use for a starter team?
That's a really impossible question to answer, because everyone plays the game in different ways. So if you want something relatively easy, but if you don't win, you're going to get fired, go with a big club. If you want a real challenge, then go with a non-league club and try and take them all the way up the leagues, like so many of the brilliant streamers out there do. I find that when I'm playing a career, I only really enjoy playing career games as either playing as Watford, which is the team that I support, or playing some really weirdo that has bizarre rules that make no sense to anyone apart from the person that came up with them. So the one problem that I have, there have been a couple of managers where this hasn't been a problem. But now, if I was to start a new game as Watford now with Nigel Pearson there, I would have to holiday the game until Nigel got the boot, because there is no way that I would take his job. He's doing such a brilliant job for us. And I've met members of his family. So I
couldn't do it to him.
Haven't met him, but I've met members of his family. I couldn't do it to him. So I'd have to wait until Scott and Gino fired him before taking over. But yeah, that's not always the problem. So
yes, yeah, I think you've got the right club there if you're looking for that. You don't need to say a word about that. I've said that. Yeah. Okay. So last couple, one that a lot of people are asking about, so I think it's a good one to ask. A lot of people are asking about Hashtag, who I know, good friend of Spencer's. We've been chatting about him. He's going to come on as assistant manager at some stage.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
But a few people are asking about the sponsorship with Hashtag and how that came about. Cathal McKennedy is asking that.
So we've known Spencer and Seb for a while. I did a TV show with him a few years ago up in Manchester, and we had a brilliant train journey back down. I've been massively impressed with everything that Spencer has done with Hashtag, and that Seb has done as well over the years. And when they were first setting up the club, it wasn't the right time for any of us, and I think they got offered a lot of. And they just turned around to us and went, the sponsorship's running out, we could do some really cool stuff together, how about it? And we just went, yeah, great.
Yeah, that's the right attitude, isn't it?
You know, that's probably a more personal sponsorship deal than the other ones. AFC Women was done because it was the right thing to do, and very proud to still be there. Longest sponsorship in football. With Watford, it was a really good commercial. Doesn't matter that I support the club. It was just a good commercial deal. Leverkusen last season, a good commercial deal. Hashtag has actually been a good commercial deal, but we also really like the ethos of what they're doing, and in particular Spencer and Seb as people. And I've got to meet a lot of the people involved over the last couple of years, and everyone's been lovely to work with. So, hopefully that can continue for a long time as well.
And I think the final question I've got to ask, because I think it's perfect for this stream. And before I ask it, thank you, mate. I really appreciate sort of coming on the screen.
I've really enjoyed it. I don't get to, and I do really enjoy doing them when I do get the chance. So you timed the request perfectly.
Good. So the final question is something happening here? Will Queen's Park Rangers get themselves into the Premier League this season? That's the question.
I think QPR are going to get into the... I think they're going to find it difficult with both Leeds and Brentford in there, who are desperate for going up. But normally, if you look historically back through, every couple of years, there's always been someone who's sneaked in towards the end and ended up going up from it. So anything is possible in football. And if players hit a good frame of form, then you're all right. But you need to score more goals, or else, look at the difference in goal difference there. You need to be scoring goals.
Okay. Miles, the main man of Football Manager. It's a shame I can't see your face right at the end there, but
I'm waving goodbye to everyone.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
With tears pouring out of my eyes, I've got to leave. But thank you very much to everyone who's watched today. I've really enjoyed doing this. It's been really good fun. Nice, and thank you also to you, sir, for doing such a brilliant job playing our game and entertaining people with it. Thanks, just a reminder for everyone, please spend your time at the moment playing games, watching streams. Stay home, stay safe.
Yes, great message to finish up with. Guys in the chat, the guys that support this stream this season, this team and myself, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week with 2 streams, 2 assistant managers that I know a lot of you guys will love. Lawrence is probably going to come back, and Paul Machin from the Redmen TV is going to be an assistant manager as well. One last thank you to Miles. Thank you to you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button on your way out. I'll see you next week. Lots of love. Goodbye.